I have two special
And
guests with me today.
still hasn't fucking changed the name.
And
Like, are
there
you
we
kidding
have
me?
Doc. Hi, Doc. And of course, Hop. Well, everybody knows Hop. Hi,
What
Hop.
up? What up? What up?
What is it? Story.
But
So
why would he change the name though? It's perfect. It covers any
yeah,
MMO.
MMO, right? And my name's Mystic.
It doesn't have a nice ring to it.
It doesn't
Oh
have
my,
a nice
that's not
ring
even
to it. You're such a critic, Doc.
Yeah, it doesn't have
I'm
a
just
good
trying to
ring
help
to
you
it.
out, but no.
You know
what?
what? I appreciate your opinion. What should I rename my channel to, Doc? What sounds spiffy?
I don't remember. I do remember I told you once.
We already done told you this multiple times, but we forgot.
I can't recant these
Come
things.
on, man. It just gotta flow better. You gotta add some to it.
And ESO Daily flow better.
Oh, what about that one guy calling? You
Yeah.
fuckers. Well, what the fuck is SO, guy?
It's a foreign language.
Come on.
Yeah, get rid of it.
Okay, so everybody knows what I'm playing. What are you guys playing today?
I'm actually playing ESO right now.
You are playing ESO. And Hop, what's on your agenda today?
I'm kicking it on Monster Hunter World.
Monster Hunter World. It says my internet is insufficient to broadcast. I should still be broadcasting. It's a lie. I hope I'm still, like, at least streaming somewhat. So,
Yeah, probably just coming in a little bit spotty for that moment.
yeah. So that's another thing. So, okay, let's talk about the PS5. Is it a must-have when it comes out?
I'm probably gonna wait.
You're gonna wait,
Oh,
Duck.
Yeah,
I
see if
didn't
they
you
bring
say
out,
you
like,
were
a
gonna
second
wait?
gen.
if I pick it up at all, I'm definitely going to wait. Why is my
So you might not even pick up the PS5? By the way, guys,
maybe
my
not.
phone is charging, so I do apologize. You might not pick up the PS5 if it comes out. You are talking crazy, Duck.
maybe not? What?
I feel like this is my thought process. With the new hardware coming out, to me it's a must-have. Unless Microsoft's dumbass gets onto the accessibility train. You know, like Microsoft to me, like I like the fact that I don't need it, like
Nice.
PS Plus to or PSN, PlayStation Network to access certain things. You know, but on Xbox you need live for fucking everything. You want to play this game? Gotta have your Xbox Live. You want to you want to have this feature? You better have your Xbox Live.
Yeah, but they do have a very, very nice user-friendly dashboard set up.
They do. I give it up for that. Like their HUD is pretty badass. I do give it up for that.
I love the HUD compared to PlayStation's.
Yeah. So I do like the user interface a lot better on Xbox, but I hate how everything's locked behind the live. I just hate that. Like, you know, give me, you know, you're going to make money from the store anyways and all this, so stop just pushing that on me. Like, that's the one thing I like about PlayStation, where, you know, if you're going to have certain multiplayer games, it has, you know, it's worth having the PlayStation Network, and same thing with the Xbox Live. But when everything's required internet, it's like, why am I... That's, like, I had an Xbox before every PlayStation up until the PS4. But I got sold on the PS4, and the simple fact that I didn't need to have the online service to access, I don't know, every game was a win-win for me. And I know players are going to be like, well, it's not every game, Mystic. I'm sorry. Anything with a multiplayer experience.
Right.
Duck, thoughts?
Yeah, I mean...
What on what? I missed it.
And like paying for your PSN versus Xbox Live. Do you like to have the option to, or I mean, I know you have it anyways, but do you like to be forced it?
No, I don't want to be forced.
Right.
It's like, I know, I don't. It was. Are you telling me Xbox fucking forces you to pay
Mm-hmm.
for?
If you want a multiplayer. Mm-hmm.
I'm pretty sure that can't be entirely true.
No,
They
it
got
is.
World of Tanks and
Yeah, but no, you need
pretty sure
Xbox
it's
Live.
not.
You need Xbox Live. Any
Pretty sure
multiplayer.
you don't need Xbox Live to play.
Dude,
World of Tanks.
Neverwinter on
I can almost
Xbox,
guarantee it's not, because that was a big deal with them coming to PlayStation. World of Tanks would not come to PlayStation because PlayStation wanted it to be required to have PlayStation.
Oh, I'd imagine they would. But
Yeah,
like Neverwinter, like we
World of
have.
Tanks never showed up until PlayStation
Agreed to the terms.
agreed to the terms of you have to make this absolutely 100% free to play.
Now, see, this is the thing, like Neverwinter, right? On PlayStation, you don't need your PSN. But on Xbox, you better have Live, or else you're not playing it.
Huh.
Yeah.
That's weird.
That's what I'm saying. It's like everybody. I get that you want to promote your Xbox Live. I anticipate this, but don't make it where it's behind, like every game's behind the wall, because now majority of your games are online accessible. You know what I'm saying? And it's like, I want to enjoy maybe a title or two that I don't necessarily have to have that service. It's like consoles are starting to take away that.
Solo play games.
Right.
Yeah. I don't think there should be a charge to play online. I mean, I'm gonna spend enough money through the network buying games. Why do I have to pay to play with other people online?
So, on another news front, Phantasy Star Online is coming to Xbox and PC in March or April next year, right? And I know you guys don't know what Phantasy Star is. I think we had this discussion the other day, right?
Yeah, I don't.
Yeah, I don't know what fantasy.
You guys suck! So, anyway,
suck.
it's only the best RPG game ever! So, anyways,
What's it called again? I already
Phantasy
forgot.
Star.
Okay.
So, anyways, so Phantasy Star Online 2 was only limited to Japan for years. So now it's coming to the West next year, but it's coming out for Xbox and PC first. Now, PlayStation Universe has confirmed it will be available also later, no specific date announced, for PlayStation, and it's 100% free.
Nice.
Isn't that sweet? And guess what? Crossplay.
Crossplay
With Xbox and PC.
Oh, nice. Nice.
From my understanding, because Xbox has said that it is crossplay, and over in Japan, it's native to PlayStation, and it's already crossplay in Japan with other platforms.
Nice.
So this to me is a big deal because of accessibility. Once again, to me it's all about accessibility. Console should be about preference. If Duck here likes a PlayStation and you like an Xbox, why should we not be able to play together?
Exactly.
Duck, what's your thoughts?
Yeah, crossplay. I mean, if that's not the way you're going, then you're doing it wrong. You know?
Right.
And maybe you don't have it today. It's not. I'm pretty sure it's not easy to do. But.
Well, it is. It's only an op system. I mean, the code's the same. The base code to the game. It's all C++. It's just a business
they
tactic.
Stop trying to work against. Yeah, they got to stop trying to work against each other and work together.
Well, it's not about that. Like, competition shouldn't be exclusive, because to me it hurts the producers.
It's like what there's also the issue with being crossplay with PC though.
Right.
Console versus PC is PC's got a lot more. Typically, they got a lot more going for them than console does.
Well, typically in the past you'd be right, but we take a look at the Xbox One and the PS4. Basically, you're just getting a smaller PC. Like, it's basically almost the same hardware that a PC generally had. But now the
But
new
you don't get
PS5
the
and the
software.
well, it's the operating system's different. That's what I'm saying. It's just an op system. It's a load system. But that's completely, adjustable to, like you can, change uploads, how the game, initially starts. So that's nothing really big or dramatic. The thing about it is, can the hardware and the software, because the servers still have to like process, say if it's a multiplayer, servers still process the same data in the same real time. The thing about it is, though, is how it opens up. That's op system, So it's basically like, the same thing with like a 32 and 64-bit clients. So it's a different client operation is what it is, So if that game supports that client, it opens that directory from the server end, if it's an online game. But the thing about it is, for me personally, like, so when are you coming to Final Fantasy 14, Duck?
Never.
You're gonna make me cry. Tomorrow's Father's Day, don't you care?
My dad's dead.
So. I'm your daddy.
I'm kind of an issue with that, so.
No, I honestly think, like, one day, Duck, I'll get you to at least try this game, god dang it.
I've never really celebrated Father's Day.
I actually already have the
Have you tried it?
game. Well, no, I wasn't allowed to try it.
I'm aware of all the problems you've had, Duck. I feel bad.
So, like, fuck those creators and fuck... I don't know. I mean, I don't... you remember the day when you could buy a video game, put it in your place, put it in your console, and then fucking play it? And that was it?
And that was it. And you had a
like,
fucking memory card.
Why do I
you had
need
a
to
memory
be part
card.
of your social club? Yeah, why do I have to be part of your social club?
I remember games that didn't have memory cards.
I love the memory card because then it's just like, oh, hey, all I gotta do is bring the CD and the memory card over to my buddy's house and I can play my game there now. Now you gotta bring the whole fucking console.
Remember, like, Mario, like, if you had to eat dinner, you'd light your fucking TV and game station on and be like, dun, 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 dinner, no, Mom, no! I don't want to eat.
I can't eat now. I'm gonna die if I do. There's no time for food.
Wait.
Bring it here and shovel it in my mouth while I play, please.
Let me pause. And I loved it because it was like moms were psychic back then. Because your mom's like, can't you just save it? What the fuck is a save, Mom? See, moms knew their shit back in the day.
Hey, what the fuck is this technology you speak of? Saving? Yeah. What is this? What is that? Never heard of this lingo.
Yeah.
It's do or do not. There's no save and come back.
I swear. It's like, leaps and bounds. Leaps and bounds.
Character name? I didn't think about this. Fuck.
Oh, I hate that. That is like my least favorite thing about video games is trying to create a character's name, especially when you think of a really badass one and then it's like, oh, that character name's already taken.
How would you have a character named Duck? Everything's Duke of Death. Everything.
No, your character name has to be different.
Yeah, you can't do that in some games.
My character names, and there's a lot going into most tunes I create. There's a lot going into it, but.
See, now this is the thing. Now, should we get on the hate train for a minute and let's talk ESO?
Oh.
ESO right now.
That's not what I was, not what I was growing into. I just took a massive fucking, oh, I'm gonna die.
You took a dump?
Fuck you, boss. No, I took a massive hit. Fucking boss just hit me hard.
So, are you on the European server or are you on North American server currently, Doug?
North America.
Okay, so what are you doing in ESO at this particular moment?
Creating a character.
What? Oh.
Duh,
did you get elsewhere?
Yeah.
Oh, dude, I'm gonna smack you. You should have waited till that bitch went on sale.
Lame.
I wanted to know what's up with the new character class.
Not much.
Trader.
Stam. Make it Stam.
Nobody
Don't make
I
it
know.
Magica. Don't make it Magica.
Trader.
What the fuck? You just told me you didn't know shit about it. What
Yeah,
the fuck
no,
are you
I've
talking
been
about?
paying
Don't make it
attention. I've been
Magica.
reading forums and shit.
What? I just asked you if you read the fucking forums.
You know,
said, no, I haven't been playing it.
No, I haven't been playing it. I said that. But from my understanding, the Stam's all broke. I mean, it's overpowered, and Magica sucks.
Of course, I wanted it. They're trying to make everything Stam.
And if you go tanky, you can use their ultimate that has an AoE and will beat the fuck out of anything within its radius. I can't do ESO anymore. Ugh, I can't. Not until January. I think they January 15th or January
I went
something.
anyway, and I'm pretty sure I'm
You're
still gonna
fucked.
smash the fuck out of stuff.
Dude, you're so fucked. Dude, I heard Mag sucks.
It don't matter. Tell me
I
I
don't
can't
care
do
what
something.
they said.
Like the one ability
Yeah.
I heard is broken
I'm
on
telling
Mag.
You right now. I'm
Oh,
telling you right now
okay.
that shit's gonna be fucking badass. This is me. Okay,
It,
this is me.
Tell me I can't do
That's
something
all I'm
on a
telling you
game.
right now.
Okay.
Exactly.
So let's get into why each of us, for our own personal reasons, left ESO, and I'd like to start with Duck. Duck, why? Up until this point,
they nerfed
why
the fucking Dunmer?
they nerfed the Dunmer? So that you were on the hate train because of the Dunmer nerf.
Yeah, you
Okay.
nerfed my fucking Mag DK. I've survived nerf after nerf after nerf of supposedly they're gonna nerf the DK, and I'm like, oh, I don't care about that. Oh,
I
well,
do
don't care about that
apologize.
either.
My phone's
Well,
on the
that's
charger and I'm on the console. So
It's like, well, that's not preferable, but I'm still rolling.
So,
And
you
fucking
went in-
got nerfed
no, wait a
to the
minute.
ground.
You
Like,
have
fucking,
to-
they
you
took
have to
away my
explain what
damage
happened.
multiplier.
you have to explain what happened. So you went in after the update, correct?
Once.
Okay.
Just
Okay. So
Went
you,
into tried out some BGs and got slapped around like a little bitch. And
so what did you feel? What did you feel was really different? I mean, was it the
My
damage?
damage
Was it the
output?
survival?
my damage output was different. I used to burn shit, just annihilate anything that you step into my shit and you're dead.
So you felt like
You're
you got
dead.
neutered.
Yeah, oh yeah.
Totally.
Definitely.
Now you had a race change token. Why didn't you use it, Doc?
Why bother? 'Cause I'm not getting the Dunmer perk anymore. I don't
Okay,
get that
I'm getting a call. One
damage
second.
multiplier to fire. Doesn't matter what fucking class I am.
Hold on.
I'm pretty sure Hop left because he got bored.
No, I'm still here.
I gotta figure out who this is.
I'm
Hello?
talking about ESO.
Oh.
What the
No, I
fuck?
just can't stand
Dude, it
all
was a
the fucking
political
bugs.
campaign. There's a political campaign calling me, telemarketers. Holy shit. Okay, so here I finally got my phone, so I'll check out comments. So let me open this up. We'll check out the comments. Alfred Martinez, what's up? So it's lagging up a little bit. It's hard to have sound up your mic. It's popping real bad when you speak. Got you. All right. Yeah, my mic is really bad on this. I do apologize. So, okay. You left and you decided, fuck you guys. I'm not going to use your race change token. You fucked my tune up. I'm gone. Right?
I couldn't race change it to the old Dunmer. That wasn't an option. It didn't matter. But yeah.
Wait, can I go back to what it was before?
Yeah.
If that's an option, then I'll be happy to play.
Can I go back before the nerf?
DK some
Okay,
more.
cool. Can I race change backwards?
Now, here's the hypothetical, Duck. Had they not changed your beloved Dunmer, would you have still been playing ESO for these past months?
Probably.
See, I don't know. I think now we'll hold off on that. Hop. Now you're a person who's come and go out of ESO since your existence with ESO, right or wrong?
Yes.
And why is that?
It's just all the bugs, all the bullshit. Leave and then they say that they fix stuff, so you come back and it's just other bullshit that's not working right, so I leave and come back and it's other bullshit, and it's just I'm tired of it. I want to play a game that runs smooth, that doesn't lag and look like shit. I love the game, but it just runs like shit. I can't play a game that runs like shit.
But maybe it's your connection, Hop. That's what most people would say.
Yeah. It's all my connection. That's why Monster Hunter World, I never have an issue. I don't have a permanent load screen. I don't have glitches. I don't have bosses doing mechanics wrong and saying they're firing and not firing and then fire late or fire early. It's just like
99 of the percentage of World Hunter doesn't say the opposite, I'm sure.
Right.
Where 99% of ESO pop says, yeah, performance sucks.
and it's like you look at World of Warcraft or Final Fantasy. If anybody's talking about lag in that game, it is their connection. But when you talk about lag in ESO, it's the game itself. It's not your connection.
Right. So I honestly feel that, you know, some of the things we've had to endure a lot of, you know, trials and tribulations with Elder Scrolls Online. And I think we all agree we love the game, but I think there's a breaking point for everybody, you know? Like Gooch. Like, I miss my Gooch. Like, has anybody talked to Gooch lately?
No.
No, I haven't
Just
seen
came
him.
out facing that.
You know,
Yeah.
I have not talked to Gooch. I miss Gooch tremendously.
He's a truck driver though, so he's probably out on some runs.
Well, he's yeah, he's back every day. So the funny thing, yeah. So okay, now I got to get a new fishing spot. Damn it. I got my fat chokey. I'm baiting him with cake.
Alright, fly around.
With cake.
Oh, you'll run for me for this cabbage? What about fly for this cake?
Yeah, right.
Fly for me, fat man, fly!
Oh, could you imagine if it had a heart attack and you just dropped?
That would be awesome. Cardiac arrest.
Don't you drop! Don't you drop!
You're gonna give your fucking chocobo diabetes, man. You're so cruel. So here, take this cake.
God, this water looks so crisp, man. It's so much. It's really bright on PlayStation.
I'm curious.
Oh
is
my
your
God.
fat Chocobo, does he ever get fed?
Yeah, I'm taught. Well, or am I
Oh,
just teasing him?
Yeah, you're just teasing him. And, oh, don't hit him! Don't hit me! Oh my God!
So you know
that guy just died.
the funny. God, this water does look really good. You know the funny thing is, Hop. You know what I want to say? Like, I actually like the way things look a little better on my PlayStation with lower end graphics than on my high end PC. Because it seems like because my graphics are set so high, like the mountain terrains don't look as well as they do here. You know what I'm saying? Does that make sense?
Almost like too much.
Yeah, like, you know, you're seeing too much detail, and it's completely not attractive then.
Right.
Because it's an older, you know what I'm saying? But then when you get on this, you're like, oh my God, this water looks amazing as fuck. Baka, your mic has feedback. I'm sorry. It's because I'm on my PlayStation. I do apologize. Yeah,
See, if anything, I think I would have to upgrade my
adjust
TV
it.
because my TV.
Let me go in my settings and No, no, it is. It's smoking the Pro. Hello. Oh yeah. Mic check. There we go. There we go.
Shit.
Thank you, Baka.
No more feedback.
Yeah,
I
no.
wasn't hearing it.
Does that sound better? Do I sound better?
Yeah.
I wasn't
You're not
hearing
hitting
it.
that high note anymore.
Cool. Well,
yeah, it's not going to affect us as much as it does them.
Yeah, no, they're coming out with like a 16 core
Well, I guess it's still
processor for the
hitting a little bit.
PS5, dude.
Nice.
With the Zen processors. Yeah,
Nice.
dude, it's sick as fuck. Like, and that's what I'm saying. Like, to me, I have to have the new PS5. But
Oh, for sure.
I mean, look at this mountain terrain. It looks so much better on lower end graphics for some goddamn reason. When I'm like, I love the the visuals anyways on this game, like all the stunning effects. But when I'm playing on my PlayStation, I really now like it. Like it, and I wish I could like I don't have as many options on my PC to downgrade my graphics. If that makes sense. But look, when you see this water, I'm like, oh my god, I'm in love. And
Yeah,
do you know what I like, Hop, though? Like, some of the
What?
ESO fanboys said Final Fantasy XIV graphics suck.
Yeah, bullshit.
Any comment on that? Besides
I already
bullshit?
I mean, I don't know. I think they're pretty good. I don't know, because even fucking Villain says that. It's like, dude, you're one of the biggest anime fans that I know, and you're gonna
Is
tell
it
me that
weeb?
Final
Is this
Fantasy
game weeb,
graphics
though?
sucks? Like, what? What do you mean by that?
Like, they call anime fans, like, weebs? Like
Weebs? I've
hardcore,
never heard
yeah.
that.
Yeah, that's what they're
I've never
called.
heard that before. Oh,
Weebs.
it's news to me.
Yeah, get with the lingo, man. You're so out of it.
Well,
Let me check
I
the
don't know, man.
comments.
I go to work and I game my games, man.
Yeah,
I'm
it's
not
pretty
up on
weeby.
anything.
Look at Sam Wow. Yeah.
Weeby.
I like the
guys-
graphics in this game. I really do. I enjoy them so much. I feel like when I look at my characters, that's another thing. Like, Elder Scroll female characters don't look attractive to me. Like, I don't like the body style in ESO. Females like the armor sets and the outfits or the dresses. But
Any
you come
of them. Any
Yeah.
of them. None of them are really good.
But you see the female and the male like characters in their outfits in this game. The outfit system in this game, people look pretty good.
hands down. Yeah.
Yeah.
Hands down.
And when you
Amazing.
see females, you're like, whoa, whoa, whoa.
Right.
Jackson, what's up? I'm coming back tonight probably. Oh, are you? Nice. Nice, Jackson. Yeah, hit me up, dude. If you need anything, I'll play with you and I'll hook you up, man. So also, they're gonna make the content replayable, the MSQ. You want to go back through the MSQ, Hop?
Oh yeah. That's what I want to do. Didn't want to do it the first time. Why would I
Well,
do it again?
they're doing it for the people who skipped the storyline intentionally.
Like I did?
Did you do that? You bought a vial?
No.
Oh my god. So at least you know what's going on
that?
in the story.
Yeah, no, I did the whole story. I
Do
did.
so you know what's going on with the plot and stuff.
I don't know what's going on, no, but I did the whole fucking thing.
How
don't
do
pay
you
attention.
do you
Come
know
on,
like
guys,
this is do you know this is one of the biggest like raves why people play this game is because of the story, right?
Yeah, but I don't pay attention to any game story. I couldn't tell you any of them.
Oh my god.
I play for the game style and how it plays and the smoothness and other stuff.
Okay, do you know who
besides just the
Heidelin and
story.
Zodiac are?
No, who are they?
Never
What is
mind.
No. I know that Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtle guys.
No, no.
Those guys are cool. I remember those guys.
You know what, Hop, it's all good, man.
And the samurai.
Do you know who
what
your
was his
Stola
name?
is?
Yeah, that's that one chick.
Urianje.
That other guy.
Which one?
I don't know. That one guy that does that one thing. No.
Alphino. Do you know who Alphino is?
Yeah, that's that little short chick.
No! Alphino's not a
well, then I don't know.
chick.
Oh, he's the guy. He's the brother, the twin
Yeah,
brother, right? The
right.
one twin.
What's his
Yeah.
sister's name?
Felipe, I don't know.
Oh my god! How do you, what game are you been playing?
Dude, I could not tell you the story to any game I've ever played, man. Any of them. I don't pay attention to it. Any of them. I get a cutscene, dude. I am so impatient with cutscenes. I try to skip forward through a
This
4-second
has got some
video.
of the best cutscenes in the gaming industry. The CGI does.
I don't care. I know. I don't care. It's just. I
Oh
don't
my
know.
god!
That's not the whole thing I play a game for, though. I don't play a game for just because of the story mode.
You
play
just
for
are
how the
dungeon
game
grinding.
plays. Well, not even just that. You know, because not all games have dungeons. Like this game I'm playing doesn't have dungeons, but it runs smooth. The gameplay is awesome. The grouping system's kind of janky as fuck in this game. I don't really like the grouping system. I don't fully understand it. I hope the second one that they come out with has a little bit cleaner grouping system. Hang on, I might lose you.
Now you both have been playing Path of Exile lately, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
So why aren't you guys playing that currently?
I just was. I hopped over here to check out the new character.
He was, but then again, for the exact same reason I left ESO, performance-wise,
So Path of
I like the
Exile's not performing up to your standard?
No, because there's
It's
times in
okay.
that game. I mean, it's cool when it's running good. It's cool. It plays good, but a lot of blue screens, a lot of stupid shit that I can't stand when
All
I
of a sudden
play
you
games.
just warp back to the spot that you were at earlier, and it's
Okay.
Yeah, there's that glitch that sucks because that's killed me a couple times where you're just running and then you just teleport back like 50 feet.
So it's like a
For no
rubber band
fucking reason.
effect.
Yeah, for no reason. I thought it was a monster at first doing it until one time I was running through an open field and it happened and there was nobody around me and I was like, okay, that's a bug.
How important is performance when you're playing online?
Oh, for me, 100%.
Duck?
what performance? Yeah, performances. Yeah, it's a big deal.
Now, is there really a difference, though? I mean, because here's the speculation. Like, a lot of people say, well, lag is a normal thing in online games.
No, it's not.
Well, is every game created equal when it comes to performance?
No.
No.
Now, if
No,
you had to...
Lag is not a normal thing. Lag is a sign of laziness in the fucking company. Because look at World of Warcraft, and look at Final Fantasy, and look at this game that I'm playing here, and other games that are out there that have absolutely no fucking lag when you're playing them, and tell me that it's a normal thing for a game to have lag, when there's other games that never have lag.
No, but like a lot of times, this is the way I look at it. Like, I'm always going to check, you know, my speeds, right? Because it could be on your end. You never know. It could be ISP related, right? One could argue that, right?
Yeah, if you're playing a game and every day you're playing it, there's no lag, and then one day you're playing.
What
and
game is Hot
you just
playing?
got
He's playing right now he's
Monster
playing
Hunter World.
Monster Hunter World, right?
But I mean, if you're playing a game every day and there's no lag, and then one day you have a shit ton of lag, yeah, it could be your connection for multiple reasons. But you know, it's not normal and it's not cool to have lag in a game.
Now, Doug, have you noticed like certain things, like maybe peak time, where it's a little bit more laggy, and maybe it is your end that's a little more congested? Or do you honestly, can you absolutely sometimes say with all certainty, it's not my connection, it's this game?
What game are you talking about?
Any game, like when you're playing a game and you're going
during
from
peak
one
time
game to
is-
another.
Lag definitely spikes up during peak time.
Like let's say for example you go from Elder Scrolls Online to World of Tanks. Do you see a performance difference?
Oh yeah. World of Tanks performs beautifully almost all the time.
And
It's
like
really, and another one is like I don't think I've ever seen anybody cheat in that game. I've never
so
suspected.
you're saying there's
anybody of
cheating in
modding.
ESO?
I have
Oh, yeah.
actually suspected.
Oh, yeah.
I don't.
You
I can't
suspected?
confirm, but I definitely suspect. Well, yeah. When the guy's not
Lags
taking
with
any
lag
damage
switches
from a
and
straight.
shit like that.
Well, it's like this guy's like sitting here just pumping out mad damage and won't take. Like it's not like his health is like bouncing. You know what I'm saying? He's straight up not taking damage
Right.
and pumping out ridiculous amounts of damage in return. It's like, obviously, that's not your fucking build. You mod it.
So here's the thing, like for me personally, like I've noticed like certain games, especially on console, right, where we're not just talking about one specific product. I mean, I could sit there and hate on one specific game, ESO. No, I'm sorry. Where performance can be a little, lackluster. Maybe ejaculations taking place. I don't know. It's having performance issues. Maybe Elder Scrolls needs Vicodin. I mean, so not Vicodin. Vicodin. No, yeah. No, Viagra. Not Viagra. Vicodin. That would be the opposite effect. Viagra. See, I don't know my drugs, but
Even, I was thinking, what is it? Cialis? I think Cialis.
Cialis. I don't even know.
It's
See? So, I mean, the thing about it is for me, like, anytime I'm going to be on a console, and let's say, I'm going to play any PC version of a game, I'm going to check out the difference of performance between PC and console. Now, let's say we have a console only title. What am I going to compare that title to? My other console games, right or wrong?
Right.
Makes sense.
I mean, that's the thing, I mean, that's kind of natural for us, right, as gamers. And I feel like when we're frustrated with one product, regardless of it, and we're going to go to another game, we're going to compare the performance of each of these titles. So I feel like what's happening in the industry and in the gaming culture is why companies are losing customers isn't due to the quality of content, because when we take a look at certain titles, we can say with all certainty the graphics look good, the content looks good, it just runs like shit. How many times have we said that? How many times have you played a game and because the performance was so lackluster, you quit?
Oh, multiple games.
Duck?
I'd say probably not as much.
So you put up with performance?
Probably more than most people.
You're better than the best hooker I know because of... Are you having problems, honey? No. It's okay. I'll wait. I mean, seriously, like, I want performance right then and there. I want, if I'm good, especially if they're expecting for me to pay for any services. Like, if I'm going to utilize their shop, let's say if it's a free-to-play game, it's not uncommon for me to throw a little money the way if I'm continuing to play the product,
Yeah, definitely. I will definitely put money into a game. Even, like, yeah, if it's a free-to-play game and I'm enjoying it, I'm going to put money into it.
Right. Because you want to support
just
it.
on, like, on a moral standpoint.
Absolutely. And I feel like that's the thing. When you become, invested in that game and you're supporting it, it's because you're enjoying that product. But if you're not enjoying the product, what's your likelihood of investing money into it?
A lot less.
A lot less. Slim to none. And I feel that's the thing that companies need to like push themselves to, is that standard. Because unless you meet the standard of quality and performance, there's too many games out there to compete against. So you're basically not you're not competing with other games if you're not in the game. If you're not being able to meet that same standards or the same, you know, quality that other games are delivering, you're only fucking yourself, right or wrong.
Oh yeah.
So like Terra, I thought Terra coming to console would be good, but because of some of the hiccups that it's having, it's not doing so well. Have you tried Terra on the PS4, Hop?
Yeah, I thought it was kind of more like a, I don't want to say without making it sound too bad, but
Dude,
like,
just be brutally honest. I'm sure we can take it.
trying to think of the best way to describe it though. It's almost like the way that it plays. It's almost like Final Fantasy, just like a dumbered down version, I guess. Not so much dumbered down, just like
A little
I don't know,
different.
more generic. Yeah,
A
generic.
little
version,
generic.
I guess. I don't know because the
Performance
graphics aren't
though,
as
was you
good.
happy with the
Yeah.
performance?
Oh, performance. Yeah, it was good. I liked it.
I feel like it's a little choppy.
A little bit, yeah. I mean, but it wasn't. I was coming from ESO when I went to it though, so I was like,
fuck
okay,
yeah,
you know,
fuck
so
that.
this isn't too. It wasn't horrible though, to where it's not like you wouldn't play it. I mean, it runs pretty good. Little choppy here and there, but I mean, not to where it's game breaking like ESO was.
No, so wait, ESO is game-breaking performance.
Oh yeah. You,
Duck,
you,
do you concur with
you-
that?
But you and
Uh,
Duck know my. Go ahead, Duck.
No, it's yeah, ESO's pretty bad when it comes to performance for sure.
No, how can you say that, Duck? You're playing it right now. Damn it!
I said it was pretty bad. I didn't say it was game breaking. So I can understand how Hop would feel that way because it's definitely pretty fucking terrible.
What keeps you playing Elder Scrolls? Why do you go back if it's
Right
so
now,
bad?
Nothing.
I mean,
Yeah,
here's
so-
becomes another question: why do we continue to play games if they are bad?
The reason I kept going back to ESO over the years is just because of how all my friends were still playing it. And I
So
kept trying to
a
pull
social
people away from
demographic.
it. Yeah, I kept trying to pull people away from it, going to other MMOs and everything, but nothing could really compete to it. And I tried getting everyone to go over to Final Fantasy. Like I said, Villain didn't care for it, so he went back. You know, and as soon as I found out you were going to it, I was like, yes! Final Fantasy, finally get the fuck off of the fucking ESO train, because I haven't talked to Villain in over a month now, 2 months now. Oh shit, longer than that probably.
Yeah, probably. So, Duck,
So,
why
I
do you
don't
keep
know anyone
going
that
back to
plays
ESO? You've been there. I know you've been there with every
I'm
performance
bored.
issue, with everything. Well, you're bored. Why not play another game?
I have been. I've been playing.
No, but what I'm
games,
saying,
playing-
why does Elder
Why?
Scrolls over
Right.
every other game draw you back?
You said it did. I mean,
You're playing it right now, Doc.
Yeah.
I want to
Playing
know
it right
why. Why?
Why?
What draws you
'Cause I
to
wanna-
it?
Well, I want it to be good again.
You want it to be good again. So you kind of keep going back because there is a little nostalgia, a little, hope for a title that you enjoy, right?
Elemental Defenders.
Is there one element of the game that you enjoy that other games don't have? For me, it's the PvP. That, I will be honest. Like, it's hard to find good games that have interesting PvP. Right or wrong?
Mm-hmm. For sure.
Duck?
I'm PvP based actually. It's more or less what I started with. Well, as far as online gaming, PvP is where it's been for me.
Mm-hmm.
So like, I started with shooters, and moved into whatever I'm doing now.
Whatever you're doing now. So, I mean, when you take a look at a game and you're trying to get involved into a game, if it's missing an element that you're accustomed to, it doesn't. It kind of deflates the experience, right or wrong.
I like balance, I guess. Yeah, if it doesn't have good balance, then it's boring. Like if I
Well,
can't,
like go from one shooter to another. What's your favorite shooter of all time?
Modern Warfare 3.
Why over Call of Duty?
Well, it is Call of Duty.
Well, versus one of the other Call of...
Versus the other ones,
Yeah.
I pick up a pistol, I can kill people with it. I pick up a sniper rifle, I can kill people with it. I pick up a shotgun, I can kill people with it. Pick up an assault rifle, I can kill people. It had balance.
So it was
Every
more
weapon
balanced
was-
than the other Call of Duty titles.
Most definitely, in my opinion. And that was most of the Modern Warfare 2 was good too, and so was Modern Warfare 1. And apparently, they're coming out with a new Modern Warfare that's just called Modern Warfare. Just a little
Now,
confusing.
here's my thing. Like, I'm an MMOer, and I'm definitely old school. Like, I'm into the battleground scenes and the siege. And one thing I loved about ESO was Cyrodiil. Now, I will have to say that the PvP in Final Fantasy XIV is the god-awful worst PvP experience of my life. It's god-awful. It's gut-wrenching, to be honest with you. Now, with that being said, the opposite is also true. When it comes to the dungeon experience, Final Fantasy XIV has to be one of the best goddamn PvE experiences I've had to date. Because there's so much goddamn eye candy and so many different elements going on, you can't help but to just be immersed into the dungeon crawling system in this game. Now, I don't think the reward system is on par where in other essence of games, because it's linear, we know that there's a best in slot and there's gaps between, you know, the rares and the commons. They need to add another element, like, you know, like an epic versus rare, and, you know, moderate that a little bit more. But when it comes to straight, like, you know, getting something out of it, you really are getting the best experience, in my opinion. They have the most dungeons. Like, I couldn't believe how many goddamn dungeons this game has. I was like, are you fucking serious? You know what I'm saying? I was blown away. Now, how to unlock the dungeons is tedious, though. So I will say that. Getting to unlock your dungeon experience in this game can be a little, you know, drawn out, but it is so well worth it, in my opinion.
Oh, yeah.
It, you know, it's just one of the best experiences of my life. But I have to sacrifice, you know, that PvP to enjoy my PvE, because I can't have it all in one game, you know?
Yeah, not a lot of games had a good balance. Which I think World of Warcraft had a good balance. It had an awesome PvP and it had a good
PvP. PvE and PvP.
Yeah.
And I think
Yeah,
that's
it had
why
a
it
good-
lasted as long as it did. Because we know the
Oh, for
graphics
sure.
in WoW sucked.
Oh, they suck. I mean, they were supposed to have the cartoony look to it. They were going for that, but they could have had a little bit sharper look to it.
Yeah.
But I
And
mean,
we
that
know
game
for
is old as
performance,
fuck.
it's
I mean,
right.
that game came out when I was like 12 years old.
Right.
So,
I mean, I felt like the one thing about World of Warcraft that kept me going back was that balance of between PvE and PvP. You know, for the longest time. You know, it had both elements that you could enjoy as an MMOer. And nowadays, you're trading off. It seems like you're always trading off for one or the other. Like in Elder Scrolls, I feel like PvP is the end game, because the PvE, it's like, oh, what are we going to do? Well, there's a new set out. Do you want to go to a dungeon and go get this, or go do a trial and go get this set? I don't know, maybe. Because after you get all your monster sets, what is there to do? After you have 500 keys stacked,
Right.
what is there to do, you know?
it's like people are complaining about keys, and I'm looking at my inventory and seeing 200 plus. It's like, God, I wish I could give you some.
Well, and here's the thing that drives me nuts. So you go to Cyrodiil, and let's say you do dungeons and you get keys. You just go to Cyrodiil now and pick up the monster shoulders and head and transmute them.
I mean, you don't have to farm Cyrodiil for the rep.
You don't have to farm a dungeon for a monster set. You just wait till it hits Cyrodiil.
Yeah, you don't have to farm it. You don't have to
So
farm it.
why don't they implement their own PvP monster sets? Their own, make PvP gear viable and separate the fucking game.
Yeah. Separate it. Make PvP PvP and dungeons dungeons. Don't make the gear
Right.
fucking interchangeable.
Like, give me a fucking my own PvP weapons, my own PvP monster sets, my own PvP gear that's fucking viable over dungeon gear. That's
Yeah.
why it's like, to me, you have one of the best elements to a PvP system. You have Siege, you have Battlegrounds. The Battleground sets, are they worth it in ESO?
Some of them.
No. After they like nerf repos, that's all junk. Compared to the dungeon sets?
They came out with some other ones. There's like some combat. I don't know.
Yeah, but that's yeah. But that's what I'm saying. Like, incentivize it. You know, stop making it where it's so. And like, if you're gonna, there's so many different elements that could be implemented, and like the devs are dropping balls left and right. They're dropping balls. It's like, who is their creative director? You can't be Rich anymore because what the fuck are you guys like? What? Who's the creative director for the fucking game? Who's the one saying we need to drop this set? We need to do this. We need to do that. You know? Because I feel like the devs are like chickens with their heads cut off. Because have you seen the dragon fight for Sunspire yet, Duck? Have you Googled that?
No.
Hop, have you seen it?
Mm-mm.
Okay, stop what you're doing for a second, Hop, because I want to hear you go off. YouTube Sunspire boss battle. And watch that
What?
dragon fight.
Sunspire?
Sunspire.
Sunspire.
Oh, yeah, that's terrible.
I'm not saying anything until you watch it.
Sunspire boss fight?
Mm-hmm. It's
There's
a dragon
32
fight.
minute- there's a video. There's a veteran sunrise first clear boss fights.
Yep.
I don't know. It's 32 minutes. Is that
Just look up the dragon one. Say Sunspire dragon fight.
Oh, dragon.
Mm-hmm.
Sunspire dragon fight. Dragon. It's a 59-minute video.
No, there's like a 3 or 4 minute one.
There's a 2-hour one. Here's one for 5 minutes.
Yeah, watch it.
Here's one 2 minutes.
Yep. If it's got the
Sunspire
dragon
now.
in it, watch it.
I don't know. I don't
You'll
know if
notice
this
when
is
you
one
play it.
minute,
It'll
5
have a
minutes.
dragon.
Cats or dragons? I don't know. Hang on. There's a dragon flying.
Mm-hmm. I can't wait till you see it. Yo, Baka, you can fish crickets? Yeah, I that's what I've been doing. I think. I can't wait until you see this dragon fight. You're gonna shit yourself.
What's so special about the dragon? So just wait.
Yeah, I'm fishing up crickets. Did you find it, Hop?
No. I'm
You
looking
didn't-
at- Here's a 6-minute video. Hang on.
I'm about to link it in Discord for you.
I think I got it. This looks easy. What are you talking about?
No, watch the dragon mechanics.
I'm watching.
Tell me what you think.
I'm watching it right now. I think, at least. What is it, the necromancer tank? Probably. I don't know.
No, but do you see the dragon? They're fighting the dragon, right?
Around. Yeah, he's flying around in the sky right now.
Okay, wait till they actually start fighting it.
Yeah, the dragon just landed.
Okay, now watch this fight.
I'm watching.
Son of a bitch.
Yeah, this is a necromancer tank that I'm watching. He's not taking any damage. It's crazy.
Yeah, but no, look at the dragon animations. The dragon mechanics.
I'm watching.
Do you notice anything?
What am I looking for?
What are you noticing about the dragon?
What am I looking for?
Well, just tell me what you see from the dragon.
I don't know what I'm supposed to be looking for.
The dragon's just standing there. It's just moving its head.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. It's not really moving. It's just turning its head a little bit.
Yeah!
That's what I'm looking at. Like, this boss fight, these mechanics look really fucking simple for this boss fight.
Yeah! That's their new trial.
This raid looks stupid fucking easy.
Do you see the dragon moving besides its head?
No. Well, it's landed up on the fucking, on the wall right now.
Yeah.
Down at the group.
But it doesn't do anything. It's just like, there's no animation behind it.
Right.
Now you played Skyrim, right?
Yeah.
You played World of Warcraft?
Yeah.
You played Final Fantasy 14?
Yeah.
You played Dragon Age?
Yeah.
Tell me that's not the goddamn worst dragon fight you've ever seen out of all those games.
Yeah. This dragon fight looks like trash. I've never seen a dragon stand so still. Even this game that I'm playing, the dragons and shit, everything. Oh, dragons always move around a lot. This guy's not even fucking moving. Look at the Ash Titan though, and ESO.
Dude, Dragon Bones, the Fang Laird had better animations than that dragon.
Yeah,
and better mechanics.
Yeah,
and that's a trial.
I know this is janky as fuck. And you wonder why I left this fucking game, dude. I've hated this game since it came out because of performance and the way it plays. It's just like, come on, dudes, fix this shit.
Dude, when I saw that, I've never been more pissed in my life.
Like, I've been playing this game since launch, and it's pissed me off.
Like, the dragon looks okay. I'm not saying the dragon looks bad.
Yeah, no, the dragon looks badass himself, but his movements and his placement... He's standing right in the middle of the fucking room, not even moving. He just turns his head and slaps around his wing every once in a while. Like, seriously, guy?
Yeah.
Move. Do stuff.
The thing about it is, it looks generic as fuck.
Yeah, it does. The boss fight is seriously really generic looking. This looks really simple.
I was like, you're fucking me, right?
Right. Like, there's more to this, right? Like, is he eventually gonna start moving around more? Or is
Dude, look, you would think there would be wings attacks, like him circling around, coming back in. Instead, he's just there. And he chomps his head. Yeah, he puts
a wing attack.
Right,
no,
but
he does have a wing attack.
But his body's still standard, it's just barely moving.
Yeah, no, yeah, he's pretty stationary. Even when he flies up in the air, he just flies and lands on a different spot and he's stationary.
Right! And you know what I showed in comparison? Nerdhog. Nidhogg.
Show him Nixia's lair.
Dude, but what I'm saying, when you take Nidhogg or Nerdhogg versus that dragon, the animation and the dragon mechanics, night and day. Night and fucking day, dude. I'm like, how is that fucking plausible? Next update is next Tuesday. You're back to playing Neverwinter?
Who?
Roz.
What?
One of my viewers.
Nice. Yeah, it's a good game. I just can't stand the pay-to-win aspect.
Yeah. I felt like Neverwinter did a lot of really cool things. Like, you know, with like the questing and stuff. I wish the zones wouldn't be so kind of like they like the zones felt restricting, you know, like the little paths and stuff. That was my only complaint about Neverwinter. That was it.
Mm-hmm.
That's it.
I think I think the whole pay-to-win system to that totally broke that game. It's just like you should,
Yeah.
if you're gonna have microtransactions like that, just make it all cosmetic shit. People will still buy it. Don't make it.
Oh,
pay to
they
win.
made
Don't try to
Paladin
get,
fun. Oh yeah, I'd imagine. They
oh,
rehauled a
fucking
lot
get
in
rid of quick
Neverwinter.
screen. I loved the game. I loved it. I loved Neverwinter. I just can't stand the microtransactions.
Yeah, like people can come in and buy like the next best in slot and just roll over.
I mean, if I had enough money to do it, I could
Mhm.
download Neverwinter, create a brand new character, and buy all of the shit and have top of the line gear right now if I wanted to. If I had the money to do it, I could be right there standing toe to toe with some of the players.
That's
that have
another
been
thing. What do you
farming
guys
shit
think
and
about
put
Congress
money into the
banning,
game.
trying to ban loot boxes? Yay or nay?
Who?
Congress,
What?
the United States Congress.
Loot boxes?
box?
Yeah, trying to ban them,
What are you?
saying it's
What are you
it's
talking
underage
about?
gambling. Loot boxes, games that have loot boxes, or crates and anything with like an RNG based, like gambling system. They're trying to say that's like promoting underage gambling
How is it gambling?
Okay.
because it's RNG. It's like,
It's auctions though.
but listen, like, can you control what's coming out of that crate when you buy one?
No, I mean, you hit enough chances, yeah.
But that's my point. You keep spending money
that-
to get what you want. So is there a gambling
but that's-
mechanic associated?
No, because gambling implies that you can get.
So it's not like a
absolute-
slot machine.
Absolutely nothing. No, it's not. A
What?
slot machine can give you absolute snake eyes, nothing, and the currency you're putting in is what you get out.
No, it's not what they're saying. They're saying a game, any game that you cannot exchange, like basically just RNG. Like there is a crate, and you have a 5% chance to get this skin, this rare skin that's only available in this crate, right? That it has a 5% chance to drop. That is a gambling effect because you can't buy it direct. You can only get it through that crate. So kids are like spending money, like taking mommy and daddy's credit cards, and
No,
blowing
I
hundreds of
completely
dollars trying to
disagree.
get that skin.
Completely disagree because what you're trying to buy a skin, not trying to buy more buying ability.
No, but what I'm saying, they're trying to ban the crates because of the RNG based element. The gambling effect. They're called the gambling effect. It's like a slot machine. It's like
But
you
that's
keep
what I'm
trying to get
saying,
cherries.
No, it's not.
All right, yeah, I'm totally down with that idea because okay, take everything that's inside of that crate box
And just
take
sell it
it the
direct.
fuck out, separate it, and let me buy it directly.
Right. That's
So
what
I
they're
don't-
trying
I
to
don't have
say.
to-
Right.
I don't have to spend $1,000 to try to get the item that I want. I can
Right.
just buy it straight out. That's why I
Right.
stopped putting money into ESO. When they brought into the crown crates, I stopped buying that shit. I used to buy mounts in that game all the time. Every time they brought out a new mount, I was buying all kinds of shit in that game.
Right. So
When they
that's
brought
the
in the crown
argument.
crates,
Why can't
I
somebody
stopped.
just buy it direct? Why do they have to buy it through the crate system? Because it's generating them more revenue because they have to keep buying, they have to keep spending money.
Yeah.
So it's a gambling effect.
I say it's not a gambling effect.
So if it was 100% guaranteed versus 5%, that's not a gamble. You're not gambling to get it.
No,
No,
What are you
it's a
doing?
gamble.
not the same as when you're rolling for a chance.
It's still a gamble.
Anytime
It's
you
not-
roll anything,
it's
that's a
not a-
gamble.
I don't believe. I disagree. I don't think it should be compared to a slot machine that's going to give you money.
But it's the nature of what gambling addicts have, is what they're saying. They're basically saying, if you get hooked on this, more than likely you have an addiction, an addictive personality, and that makes you prone to gambling.
But why would you try to argue the point if they're trying to take
well, let's
loot
say
boxes
you
out of
already
games?
get the mount. You already get the skin. You already get the mount. Whatever the fuck you're rolling for,
Right.
You're done.
Well, until they bring out new content, and they're always putting new stuff in these associated, venues. That's what they do. That's why it's
So-
called
so you're-
seasonal. I
So you're
agreed to
saying
banning
you-
loot boxes. That's
Oh,
what
I
Ross
totally
said.
agree. I
Yeah.
totally fucking agree. If
I
you're
totally
against that,
agree.
you're dumb. Because if you would rather spend $100 and try to get
Versus like
something on
20 or
chance,
30.
spending $5 and get it right then and there, you're retarded. That's
Yeah.
just no
So
better. Why
what
would you
I'm
spend
asking,
more on
are
a
the
gamble when
companies
you could
taking
just buy it
advantage
straight
of
out?
consumers, Doc?
Oh, for sure. Yeah, for sure.
Do you think they are, Doc? When they do loot boxes?
Well, there's no required content in those loot boxes.
But are they
So it's up to
taking
them.
it? Are they taking advantage of the consumers, trying to make them spend money intentionally?
Well, what's the point of running a business if you're not there to make money?
Right, but are they exploiting it? Are they taking advantage? Not to make money. There's a difference between making money and exploiting. I'm asking you, are they exploiting it? In your opinion. Your opinion. You can say no.
I don't know, honestly.
I have tosses. I'm not against microtransactions. I think microtransactions are a necessary evil. Right? I agree with that. But I don't necessarily believe that you should make it to the point where people are spending a grossly excessive amount on something that could just be offered direct and just available
Well,
and still make a profit.
Well, there aren't loot boxes in Path of Exile. Instead, they just charge you $80 for a fucking
So it's just direct.
costume. It's direct, but it's fucking outrageously priced.
Well, at least you know what you're getting, though. You might not like the pricing on it. They might be able to even adjust it. But would you rather spend that amount or 2 or 3 times potential the amount?
Or potentially paid.
Or less. But you're taking the gamble to spend it less. Right or wrong? It could cost you less. It could cost you more. You never know, right?
Well, I don't know if it did ever. Like, it didn't cost me more. I guess it depends on what the ratio is set up for.
Right, exactly. But that's the one thing. That's what they're saying that people aren't in control
I mean,
of.
it was like, well, what the crate? You're talking about crate crowns. Eventually, you spend X amount of money and you can buy whatever you want.
Well,
Yeah, but
that's an
it's a
ESO,
gamble.
but not every
It's a
game
gamble.
has the same fundamentals. Like, I agree with ESO's Crown Crate option. Like, yes, you are taking a gamble, but if you don't get what you want and you don't like what you want, you could trade that in to earn the currency to buy it direct. So I'm not opposed to the way Elder Scrolls has implemented their business, because to me that's practical. Yes, you're taking a gamble, but at the end of the day, if you earn enough coins, you can buy it direct. So to me, they don't have a pay-to-win element. Well, some could argue with the new right,
It's not
but
as much of a gamble as. Some
but there's
other
certain games
systems.
you can't do
In
that.
those systems, I haven't dealt with those certain games, so.
Right. So there's certain games that you don't get a trade. You get what you get out of that chest. If you don't get what you're looking for, there's no option to trade in. Tough luck.
But I also feel
It's
like
still-
there's,
Go ahead.
I was like, you're talking about addictive personalities and stuff like that.
Mhm.
And it's like, well, video games in themselves are addictive.
I agree. I agree with that comment. That's a very valid point, man. That is a very, that within itself. Did you know the Center of Disease actually officially announced gaming as a disease?
Right, so
There's
watching
gaming.
TV is
There's
too.
gaming disease.
Yeah, I would agree with that.
Watching TV is a
I've
disease,
seen
then.
people
Yeah.
binge watching. I agree 100% with that.
Because
watching
the o-
TV shows,
It-
you get. I have to finish this
You're
season.
breaking up.
Yeah, I'm outside.
Oh,
But like fucking Portlandia actually did that. They did a skit on that of people binge watching shows till they lost their fucking jobs and shit. And it's like, yeah. So I would say TV's just as much an addiction as video games.
Well, and here's the thing. I think anything can be addictive, right? if we all get a sense of euphoria out of it, chocolate can be addictive, right or wrong.
Pain can be addictive.
So can we say chocoholic? How many times? Now think about this. We always use the words workaholic. We're all associated with that, right? Terminology. Mm-hmm. Do you think the world's going to complain if someone says, "Oh no, you're a workaholic. He needs help." You know what I'm saying? But if you're a game, you're addicted to games, everybody will look down on you.
You joke about that, but I've actually known people who, yes, the company I work for has ordered people to take time off because they won't do it on their own.
But that's my point. My point of it is a lot of times things are overlooked because from a social aspect, some things are considered acceptable where other things aren't considered acceptable. And unfortunately, it's up to, society to police itself. But the thing about it is video game companies don't have typically to, take the moral high ground to say, we should set a standard because of the youth. You know what I'm saying? If had the video gaming industry said, you know what, we don't want to exploit children and have them spend a gross amount of their parents' money when unattended. Now, the video game company could make the argument, well, why does your kid have access to your credit card, on the game? Those arguments could be raised. But, are you watching your children? Right. So all of these are, counter-arguable, is my point. But the thing about it is, had the gaming industry just policed itself and said, you know what, this is immoral, what we're doing. We should not, we should take this into consideration. We wouldn't be seeing these type of bills, on, in Congress for debate, let alone voting. Right or wrong? But video game companies can't because, let's face it, greed is a powerful tool. When companies keep smelling money, they're like, oh, you know what? We just made $5 million off of our crate system this year. What? That's free money.
I do feel like that's a thing in just about every business. It's like, and it's actually like, it's a requirement in a lot of businesses. We expect this amount of growth.
Uh-huh.
You need to, you're making X this year, you need to be making X more next year. It's like, why do I need to continuously make money? If I'm making enough money to support everything I'm doing and put a little aside for improvements later,
right?
There should be you shouldn't have to continuously make more money than you did last time. That's just a key for inflation right there.
Especially if you're paying for overhead. Yeah, as long as you're in the black, that's the positive, right? They're on this boss fight. But, the funny thing about it is, for me, what I keep noticing, and it goes on and on, is the companies, it's never enough. It's never going to be good enough. Even if they're in the black, they're always going to want more and more and more. And that's what my point of it is. It's like, why don't you guys stop while you're ahead? Because if you don't raise flags, nobody's going to question what you're doing. So long as you're policing yourself and, but as soon as a kid spends $3,000 on mommy and daddy's credit card, and then all of a sudden this becomes more common, all of a sudden congressmen and politicians are going to get the call from these parents saying, why is my kid allowed to buy these things on their game to begin with? And now this is what we get out of it. You see what I'm saying?
Why does your kid have access to your card?
Well, yeah, once again, we can make that argument. We could make those arguments.
I agree with the whole thing. Those microtransactions are bullshit to me.
I don't have a problem with microtransactions. I feel like it needs to happen.
I think the loot box. I don't like RNG. Mainly
right. I'm against
RNG.
I'm against RNG. I want direct. If I could buy those horses, if I see a badass mount, right? And I'm talking the most pimp ride that I could have in a game that I've invested hundreds of hours in, and it's going to cost me $40 for this pimp ass ride. You don't think I'm not gonna buy that?
Oh, for sure. I would.
I would
I'm
too.
right there with you. I'm right there
Right.
with you. If a mount comes out and I can buy it directly for fucking $40, I'm gonna buy it. If a mount comes out and it's got a .00.0 fucking whatever stupid low ass roll rate on a fucking box that cost me $15 to buy and I gotta buy 5,000 of these boxes, no. Fuck
But
that.
see, you know
'Cause I'm
better.
never gonna get
You
it.
know better not
I'm
to
never
do
gonna
that.
get it.
But how many people don't have that power? How many people want it so bad that they're willing to spend all that money to try to get
Yeah,
it?
well, they exploit. I mean, it's a super fucking.
But is it
Same with
exploiting? That's the
fucking-
question.
Yeah, how is it not? If you say it's not, how is it not? You're exploiting people that have more money than others, easily. It's just like
Go
in
ahead, Doug.
Neverwinter.
I wait. Doug's gonna say. Go ahead.
It's the RNG on fusing orbs on Path of Exile.
Mm-hmm.
It's an in-game currency, so it doesn't cost real money, but it costs like 1,000 of these gems that I have like
2.
maybe. Yeah, I may have had 100 at a time. That's like the max.
Should gear
Yeah,
be
you need
purchasable
thousands of
on
thousands.
in-game transactions? Like stat gear.
What? To be able to
Statted
just go
gear.
up to a vendor.
Should you be able to buy statted gear in an in-game store through microtransactions?
I'm not
No.
against it.
You're not against
I
it,
don't think
Doc,
so.
but you are against it, Hop. I'm loving
Yeah.
this because we have two different sides. First, I want to hear Duck's reply. Well, you're not against it. Why, Duck?
Because I mean that can be obtained through as long as it's obtainable through non-paying for it.
So you don't
wanna-
feel it's a pay-to-win aspect?
But it's still an exploit. No matter what way you look at it, that's an exploit. You're exploiting the fact that somebody out there is able to buy that right here and now over somebody who can't. They have to farm
Well,
it. Yeah, okay, you can still farm it, but you're exploiting that somebody can buy it right here and now.
Okay,
You're
well let
exploiting
me
that
ask you
fact.
this: are you against the fact that you can take your car to a mechanic and have it fixed?
No, why? What does that have to do with anything?
No, you gotta let Duck give his point. Go ahead, Duck.
He's fixing a car is not hard. Anybody can do that, but it takes time. It takes a lot of time to know how to fix it, and it takes tools. They require tools that take time to acquire because you got to make the money, acquire the tool, acquire the experience, so on and so forth. It's a currency thing, and that's why currency is in effect.
So you're
Because
basically
some
saying the
people don't have-
the people who have the resources should get the perks of having those resources. Am I hearing that
It's
right? Is
like-
that how I'm hearing it?
How many hours does it take to grind a character in any game? You know?
Well, it depends on the game.
Exactly. But
Right.
besides the point, it does take time.
Right, time is
And
money.
Exactly. And if I'm putting in a bunch of overtime at work and making money, why can I not use that money so I don't have to spend that time on the game?
But is that
Yeah.
is it fair to the people who are investing the time? That's what's the debate. But like you said, time is money.
That's what I'm saying. Time is money. That's
Yeah,
exactly what I'm
well-
saying. It takes so many hours to grind up to max level in so many games. It's like a lot.
Well,
of people
what
don't have
about
that kind
like
of time.
you know
The
like
game's
the
gonna
you
be
know
obsolete by the
players
time-
who
if
sell
you only
those
have,
services? Like, why is it fair for the companies to make money providing
well,
that
I don't
instant
think
gratification
I don't
and they
think it's
ban
fair.
players?
I don't think that's fair. I think people should be able to grind and sell their tunes to people who. I think that's.
I'm not against
very
it as
legit
long
thing
as
to
there's
do.
a system like Neverwinter where you can exchange a free in-game currency to buy, pay to get in-game. So basically like the token systems, how they can put it up. So, I mean, and I know a lot of people will like always go with that. You know, like World of Warcraft has the same effect where you can buy a Bitcoin and sell them on the auction house and basically use that Bitcoin and pay for your month's subscription. So there is like
Yeah.
some of those currencies and effects. It stops gold farming, but that's where I feel like the gold farmers like are once again putting in the time. So why are they penalized?
Well, are they putting in the time, or are they just
Like, do you
setting
believe
up
in buying gold from a player? Would you pay like if there was a reasonable amount that the player could sell you gold? Does that make it wrong?
No.
I guess not.
Right, but games will punish
would it
players
be?
for doing it. They'll ban them if they get caught. So isn't that an oxymoron if the same company is offering services to players for advances, but yet punishing players for selling service?
Well, that's because people are stupid and they go broadcasting their shit like fucking.
But here's the
dumbasses.
thing: we in the gaming world, we can honestly say that we have our own virtual economy. Yes or no?
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah.
Right. So we have our own virtual economic system in gaming. Why? Because, like you said, time is money. We're investing time into our game. It's an investment, and if players can pay for a service, who are we not? Who if the company allows us to do it, why shouldn't we be permitted to provide these services for gamers who don't have the time to invest like the other gamers do?
Because the companies don't get to dip their hand in the candy
Right!
jar and they don't like it.
Exactly.
It's because they'd be
That's
double, but they get to double dip when they're offering,
Yeah.
these services, right or wrong.
Just that's right, and it's bullshit.
So,
Yeah.
so it's cool to offer shortcuts, so long as they're not hypocritical about it. Is what you're saying, Doc? So if
No,
players can,
I'm
if the
saying
company
this.
can earn money, the players should be able to earn money.
Yeah,
Yeah.
players should. I think the players should be able to earn money. Period. Just like I think, yeah, players offering their time to, to carry people through content.
So if people
That's
are
a big
willing to pay
no-no.
real cash for it, they shouldn't be penalized for it.
I don't think so.
I agree. I agree. I agree with this. If a company is going to sit there and say, you know what, we're going to offer you a shortcut and advance your tune to level 80 without you playing one bit of content, that company should not have a TOS that prohibits players from selling services. Because we have a virtual economy. We're establishing a virtual economic system. So
Yeah, but I
why
think it
should
was
a
illegal
company
to sell an
exploit
account,
it?
though.
But that's my point. It comes back to what you said, Hop.
that's
Companies exploit so they get all the money and nobody else can reap any benefits.
Yeah, it's like, okay, we're allowed to do it, but you're not allowed. We can sell money, we can sell items, but you're not allowed to do that to other players. No, because yeah, they don't get to dip their hand in the candy jar, and it's unfair.
So they could set it up to where they do get a percentage of your sales, but they don't do that.
Wait, that's a beautiful idea. See, this is why I love talking to you guys. These are the
But how would
conversations
they be
I
able to
miss.
do it?
Well, that's easy.
Where's-
You can have the
so you would
transaction
host your-
set through
on the
an
game.
online, through an online service where they pay for it. Like it's like a cash auction house. So basically, you set the price in their in-game service, and players play it. There's a game, one game
Okay.
that does that.
Okay, but hey, I've got 1,000,000 gold. You don't have any. You want to buy 1,000,000 gold off of me for $50 in real life? Why am I going to tell anybody that you actually bought this off of me to have to pay them a percentage of that sales when I can just
What
give
I'm
you 1,000,000
saying,
gold and say,
like
that I
say
fucking
it's
owed you it?
reason, but the thing about it is, it's like this. Imagine you couldn't do a trade without that system. They can
What?
make it where that system, you have to utilize that system for those type of trades. Like you can't trade gold, for example, unless it's through that system.
Or even another one is availability.
Right.
Do you have the customer base to sell that gold? They can offer a customer base that is basically infinite.
Like Guild Wars
I'm
2
selling
has
at this
a
price,
system
somebody
like
will
that.
buy it.
And
So
that's my
basically, you couldn't
point.
trade gold unless somebody was buying with it, buying real gold, or using real money to buy the gold off you.
No,
Oh my
basically
God,
you
that's
earn
stupid.
your gold, or if you can't trade gold. It's just like Guild
That's
Wars 2 has
stupid.
the same system.
That's stupid. Why would you not be allowed to trade gold? Think of that. Think of what you're saying. You're not allowed to trade gold unless it's being bought. Think
I'm
of
saying
that.
you
Or
can
you
trade
can
gold.
earn it.
Or you
No,
can
think-
sell gold. You can trade it, or you can sell it.
Yeah,
No,
you'd
this is
have to
saying
use
you
an
can't
auction
trade it.
system.
You'd have you just said you can't trade it. It would have to
That's
be purchased
That's what Mystic was
from
saying.
somebody.
What I'm
Right,
saying is
yeah.
that you can do both. You can do both, and there's a system lined out for you to sell your gold.
But why would you use the system,
System when
if
you can get a hold of
Because you
direct,
don't
that's
have
what I'm
to
saying.
do your own
That's what I'm
advertising.
saying.
Oh, dude,
Why
that's a good
would-
idea. I like that, Duck.
You just post it on the trader.
Yeah.
And
So basically, instead
people
of
show
hunting
up to the
people
trader
down,
because-
you're
Exactly.
yeah. That's a great idea. Yeah. That makes sense. That does.
Why would I put my name out there though and have to pay a percentage of my profit when I could do it on the low key?
You're
and not have
just
to give any of
you're
my profit?
basically
Because
just
you're gonna
putting
be
your
doing a low key business.
yeah. The thing
You're
about
not
it is,
going
it's
to be
like
doing
this.
much business
If
because
you're
you
in a
can't
zone, say your
advertise
zone
as
chat.
well.
Say you're in a zone
you
chat,
posted
you're
zone?
only advertising to the people in that zone
In
as
that
much
zone.
as you can spam. If you're,
Or
it's
you
on the
put it on an
board,
auction house.
it's
anybody who
available
goes
to
to that auction-
everybody.
Anybody who goes there.
Right. So you're getting a wider target audience.
Yeah.
At a percentage of that. That makes sense to me.
Yeah,
And if
if
it's
you
a-
do that,
like,
but
let's-
they
let's say
couldn't
it's-
take the trade out completely. They would have to. You'd still be able to trade gold or trade currency.
But
'cause if
what
you
we're
couldn't
debating
trade
is
it,
the
that'd be dumb.
morality behind it. Is it morally acceptable for players, the companies to offer the service and punish players for doing the same thing?
No, that's not moral at all. What I do find immoral about like gold farmers, basically, is how they farm it.
Yeah,
If
they
you're
bought.
setting up- yeah, if you're setting up bots, for one, that actually negatively affects everybody else. It also negatively affects the economy.
Inflation goes up.
Inflation goes up. Your performance goes down
Right.
with all those bots operating on the same
So
instance that you're in.
here's the thing that I mean, and it comes back to this. This is where we're getting to, and this is what I was hoping you were going to get to this direction. When the companies have to police the players to prevent these type of occurrences, isn't it up to the government to police the companies? Then
Yeah, sure.
okay. I think we've come to some conclusion here. I was hoping we were going to get here. So that's my point. The companies don't want the government interfering in their business. But unfortunately, the same businesses that don't want the government interfering are interfering with the players from their experience. Right or wrong?
Yep.
So, is the companies being hypocritical if they're protesting to these type of bills?
Yeah.
Okay, there it is. You see what I'm saying? We might not like it, but the companies do it for a reason. The companies might not like it, but the government has to do it for a reason. Yo, so how are you differentiating bots in any of these scenarios? Well, the thing about it is, the bots it's just in reference, Baka, because we're all aware that we have bots in MMOs that will gold farm, and then that gold or whatever's being sold, for a service or for a fee. And of course, the game companies try to shut that down. We don't. I mean, there can be. Well, no. Irish actually found a bunch of bots in an area.
I've
haven't
reported
seen
a bunch
Yeah,
of bots in
I've never
areas,
seen
and
it
I keep
until
seeing
then.
The same bots in the same areas.
But
at
my
least on
thing
ESA.
about it is, it's like it comes down to the whole thing. Nobody wants Like everybody, I love capitalism because I studied economics. That's what I went to school for, and the funny thing is everybody's like, capitalism is great. I believe in the pros of capitalism, but I also see the negative effects associated with that versus like something like socialism. But then socialism has its own problems as well. So in my mind there's no perfect economic structure. There's pros and cons to each. But when it comes down to like, when we're taking a look at capitalism and business owners, they're always saying less government, more, people, or more about the people. And it's like, ideally, you're right, but unfortunately, we have cause and effect. And I agree, but who's going to police anybody? RuneScape is a good example of being invaded by bots, right? RuneScape was definitely a bot infested.
World of Warcraft.
World of Warcraft, definitely. You couldn't go through a town without getting spam tells. Buy gold at this website. Blah blah blah. And you're like, God, what the hell? 20% off if you buy gold at this. Same 15-minute delivery.
Right, that's all the chat was.
It's just like, holy shit. And now that spoils your game experience. You're losing game experience because of this effect. Like, one thing I love about Final Fantasy XIV and why I enjoy a sub-based game. This is why I enjoy a sub-based game. When I log into this game, I'm never plagued with microtransaction commercials. If you don't see, you do see some from time to time, like people commercializing websites, but usually those get snuffed out pretty quick. But I'm never running around getting multiple spams of like, come to our shop, buy here, and players spamming, buy gold. Like, if I want to spend on the MOG station, I have the option to spend on the MOG station. I can go there at my leisure to see what's available and buy it if I want. Because I'm paying for the service anyways. And same thing, I don't want to see a bunch of gold farmers, spamming me all day, buy gold, buy gold, buy gold, buy gil, buy gil. And I'm like, no, man, I don't want to buy gil. If I want to gil, I'll earn it.
Mm-hmm.
It's about the player. That's the thing, is because companies do have to make money. I'm not opposed to microtransactions, especially if your game's free to play. You want to try to incentivize, but don't make it so predatorial. You know what I'm saying? Don't make it so where the kids, the parents have to worry if the kid can even get the game. Because I guarantee you, unless Congress does intervene, there's going to be free games that still require a credit card to download. It's free, but you have to verify your age with a credit card. Mom, Dad, can you verify this for me? And it attaches the credit card. Right or wrong?
Right.
And then they're going to have some little bullshit saying, well, hey, you agreed that you were over 18. It's not our fault that the kid, purchased on your credit card. That credit card was associated with the account. Can you guys see this happening in the future? Because I can.
Mm-hmm.
And that's why we're getting where we're at. That's why it's coming down to this. It's why. It's not about fun anymore. It's about money, money, money. There used to be a lot more bots in Final Fantasy XIV. They keep trying to ban them, but it's an uphill battle, right? We're already there. If you look at the App Store, by the way. Yeah, I like the MOG station. I mean, I'm just saying, like, I never log in. Like, if I log into ESO, the first thing that pops up is the Crown Store.
Mm-hmm.
It's like, hey, we've got specials today at the Crown Store. Remember a time when we logged into ESO where the Crown Store didn't, like, bombard us?
Right.
And now it's
When it
like
wasn't
every
the
time
main
if you
thing.
even switch a tune, hey, by the way, have you checked out the Crown Store? Like, please leave me alone. You've
Right,
already
all the time,
notified
Crown
me,
Store,
like,
Crown
yeah.
Store.
Dude, I was in the middle of just running around and the Crown Store option came up. I was like,
Right.
what the fuck is this?
Your loading screen told me enough about the Crown Store.
Yeah.
You don't need this shit. Come on.
Oh, no, I meant like Apple App Store and Google. Oh, yeah. Yeah, no, you're right. It's already there. But imagine that going to the gaming industry now. Imagine that. Imagine those type of services being implemented in the gaming. And I feel like this is where unfortunately the government has to step in, because the companies aren't going to police themselves. They're not going to do
No.
what's morally correct.
No.
They don't give a
Why
fuck.
would they do that? They just want the money.
Right. They're just like, hey,
They
you know
don't care.
what? Unless somebody stops us, why should we stop?
Right? Oh, that's your
That's
fault.
there
That's not our
too.
fault.
It's why EA and the other ones are in trouble. Right, absolutely. And that's why everybody's shitting themselves, because if this passes, a lot of countries are going to follow suit. Whatever the United States does, other countries are going to be like, you know what? The United States banned it. Why aren't we? And that's the thing. Like, companies don't need to go to this extent. Just let them buy it direct. You could still make money. Like, the government's not saying don't have microtransactions. The government's not saying don't make money. They're just saying don't get predatory with the kids.
Right?
Keep
Don't
it
make
to
a
the
chance.
adults.
Just don't make it a chance that I'm gonna get the thing that I want. Make it so I
Yeah.
can just get it directly.
You know, if you want to exploit adults all day and adults want to spend hundreds of dollars, that's fine. But put an M rating on it and make sure no kid under 18 buys that motherfucker. To me, that's not a hard buy. That's not a hard sell. I don't think gaming consoles companies would allow it. I mean, requiring a credit card to down. No, dude, I believe it, dude. It's going to get there, Ross, sooner or later. Sooner or later, we're all going to get affected. It's just a matter of time, man. It's just a matter of time. Like, when you go to your PlayStation or your Xbox has your credit card saved. Believe it. Like, if I want to make a purchase on my Xbox, I just go to the store. Click the button, it'll say, what's your code to confirm? Hit my code, make my purchase. PlayStation, same thing. PlayStation, I go to my store, hey, I want to purchase this, confirm, yep, that's me. Okay.
Yeah.
Well, I
But
remember
you
that
could also
on Xbox. That was
The requirement.
It was a requirement to have a credit card.
But you can
Not
also set
anymore,
it
but
up
I
though.
remember one time it was, right.
Set it up so you have to.
Because you get an account free. Right. What we're saying, though, Roz, is like there are some instances, like when you put a credit card on your Xbox Live or on your PlayStation Network, it's saved. It's there.
Yeah.
It's already there.
But you can also set it so that you can't do any purchases
Right,
with that card unless you
right.
put in the password.
But that's not my
So-
point. My point of it is, imagine now a game saying, "Hey, we're free. We are a game that sells microtransactions and has this. So to make sure that you're over the 18, the law requires us to sell only this game to 18-year-olds. You have to verify that through a credit card. You can't see that happening."
It doesn't matter if it happens or not. You can still lock it so you can't do any transactions.
I'm
without putting in the
aware,
password.
but you don't think kids get creative? Imagine a kid doing this. I'm saying,
Really,
imagine
what?
a kid. If you wanted a game, and your mom had credit cards, you're telling me you wouldn't have to dare to be a little like, oh, as long as I don't buy anything, I'll just use mom's card. You're telling me you would never even tempted to do that, or be tempted to do it.
What are you talking about?
A kid.
Downloading
Think about a
game
kid. Think about a kid's mentality.
Downloading a game.
If you had to be
You're talking about just downloading a
18,
game.
if you had to be 18 to download this game, it had an M rating. Imagine Congress passes this law, right? And they say, okay, you're allowed to have these type of transactions, the crates, but it can only be sold to people 18 or over. And imagine a kid wanting to download this, and they say, okay, well, you can download this game, but we have to verify you're adult. Please enter a credit card to verify. You don't think the kid's going to get creative?
They could in a way, but you can also lock it so that they can't do a transaction.
I'm understanding of that, but imagine you being the parent and you're not aware that they're trying, and the kid's going to could the kid sneak the credit card number and to put it in?
I mean, in a way, yeah, I guess he could.
Okay.
But you know what's gonna happen to that kid if that's my kid? He's gonna
But that's not my point. My point of it is, could the kid do it?
You know, I mean, technically, it's not the fucking system's fault or anybody's fault. I mean, that's the
But
kid,
that's
you
all
know,
I'm saying is, what I'm saying is, it's always going to lead to one thing or another. You see what I'm saying? That's my point. My point of it is, even if they do manage to pass this law, and let's say they put an M rating, they say, okay, well, we're going to make an exception and allow the crown crates to be utilized only for adult purchases. Now they got to do an age verification, right? And how much do you want to bet that's going to require a credit card? And if that's the case, some of these kids are going to get slick and attach get their parents' credit card numbers and still download the game anyways.
So
I mean,
it
yeah, in a
sounds
way
like
you
is
could.
we should deny this law.
See, but all I'm saying,
it's
I'm
only gonna make
arguing both
matters
cases.
worse.
That's all I'm saying is
But-
I'm arguing both cases. I'm playing devil's advocate.
I mean, if the
kinda
kid,
have to
there's
agree.
nothing
It's like,
there's really nothing you can
yeah,
do if
let's
the kid
not.
goes into the stuff and,
Right.
and takes a credit card and puts the information in just to download a game. There's really nothing you can do besides whoop the kid's ass. I mean, that's about it. If the kid does something like that, then there's nothing you can really do about that. But if you have a kid and you have your credit card hooked up to his PlayStation or Xbox, you can have it set so that if they make any transactions, they have to put in a password, and you can set a password and have access to the stuff that he downloads or she downloads. So I mean, if they go behind your back and take a card from you and do it behind you, that's fucked up. But I mean, it can happen. You can't blame anybody but the kid for that, though.
It could happen.
It could happen, but I mean, shit. If your kid is gonna go behind your back and steal from you, then I mean, so be it. But
Blame the kid. Yes, I agree.
that's what I'm saying. Blame the kid. You know, if my kid went behind my back and took my credit card without me knowing and
You
bought
beat his
something,
ass.
even if it didn't cost
Well,
anything, if it was a game I didn't want him playing, and he still went behind my back and stole from me, I'm gonna whoop his ass and take his shit.
But all I'm
He's not
saying
gonna
is,
have-
I'm just saying, I'm playing devil's advocate. This shit could happen. Me, no, I wouldn't do that. You want to do that. Okay, that sounds good. Tablets and phones, too. Like I said, this is what actually happening already, right? And it is. You're right, Vodka. Vodka, you are absolutely right. This system's already in place. We can see like all of the effects from this, and I agree with you, totally. All right. Like, that's the thing. What I'm like, all I'm saying is, at the end of the day, we're never, there's never an easy. It's easier said than done. Is my point. It comes back to that simple saying. It's always easier said than done, and there's always going to be a loophole where there's going to be shit sliding through the cracks. You know what I'm saying? No matter if you tried to, like you said, Doc, well, it sounded like a great idea, but now that you put it that way, it does sound like it's going to cause more headaches, because it can.
I didn't say it was a great. I didn't feel like it was a great idea.
Well, right.
Yeah.
Well,
I don't know. I've always been a big fan of accountability. Like, have some.
well, that's really good. Like, self-accountability.
I don't care what age you are. Have some self-accountability.
Well, I mean, because they do what they can by putting the age.
Yeah, I don't think
requirement
consoles
on a
have that
game.
yet. Although you have a card saved onto the consoles and use your console password for verification, you've already lost. Right, right. You're exactly right. You're absolutely right, Baka. 100%. You know, the systems are already in place to kind of like put these things into effect. You're absolutely right. And the funny thing about it is, I'm not opposed. Like Duck said, have some self accountability, but shouldn't the companies have some accountability as well?
Yes,
I mean,
everyone should.
Technically, don't you think they do? Because they put an age requirement on it. It's not like a kid can walk into a game store and buy that game over the counter. If you can buy it at home, sitting on the PlayStation,
right? I was about to say, right.
Internet, then that comes down to the parents and the kids themselves.
But what about free downloads?
What do you mean?
I mean, it doesn't take anything to download a game. Just being plugged into the net and having the consoles.
But there's, with the whole parenting, I'm sure with the parent, I don't know what all parental controls you have with the PlayStation because I never fucked with them, but I'm sure there's ways to lock shit out.
Well, like I said,
downloads.
You can probably lock out downloads.
It's definitely an undersight.
No, listen to my one.
To the parents.
Right. Well, so listen, my one friend literally bought his son a Call of Duty game online, right? And of course, this was on Xbox, and he's like, "Oh, okay, yeah. You know, we'll go ahead and let me go ahead and pay for this." And he gets on and puts in the card information because guess what? It asks you. It asks you for your 3-digit code on the back. Pretty convenient, right? You know, you're putting all this information. That's a security feature, right? The 3-digit code is a security feature, right? So all of a sudden he purchases it, not thinking anything, saying, okay, yeah, here's my information, blah 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 blah, and then next thing you know, his kid sees some things in the item store for the Call of Duty. And guess what this kid does? Commences to click.
Yeah, but whose fault is that? Is it the company's fault, or is it a careless parent that forgot to either delete the fucking card off of the thing so that the kid can't do this, or lock it so that he can't purchase without his permission?
But do you see my point, though? That becomes the predicament. I do, but that's my point. That's the predicament, isn't it?
No, there's no predicament. That's the point. It's not the company's fault that they have microtransactions that people can buy. If you're careless enough to let your shit on your kid's PlayStation or stuff that he's not paying for and have access to buy stuff with your card, that's the parent's fault. That's not the company's fault. That's nobody else's fault. That's the parents'. If you're careless enough to let that shit slide, then that's your fault.
So maybe so should there be digital versions though because of that? Should there be limited versions because of the kids? I mean, because we're in a digital age now. It's not like had the kid bought maybe a physical copy, would we have the same problem?
No, because the kid wouldn't be able to buy a physical copy of an M-rated game.
Well, what I'm saying is, like, if a digital copy, you had to put in the information to pay for it, but the physical copy, it's already paid for at the store. You see what I'm saying?
Yeah, but you see what I'm saying? Like, if the kid can't buy it from the store and he can't buy it at home without a credit card because he doesn't have enough money, and he's got to use his parents, it's falling on the parent. It's coming back. Once it's in the house and it's online and it's on the PlayStation and shit, it's coming down to the parent. And your carelessness of leaving your card on there or giving them access to your card and they buy shit, that's your fault. It's not the company's fault. It's your fault. If the kid steals the credit card from behind your back and buys shit, then it's the kid's fault.
You have kids yourself, and it's like, let's say.
First thing, let's be honest. My kids.
You don't have a kid that's been, has a problem with like drugs or alcohol. But
I honestly look at it in this way.
Living with a kid that does have problems with drugs and alcohol, you have to safeguard that. You have to hide that.
What are you doing with my belt, honey?
You can't leave cigarettes.
You're using my martial arts belt to take. No, I'm just asking. That's going to go in Odin? Oh, your leash? I thought it was in that little box over there. I wasn't sure. I thought I saw it over there, baby. But like I said, I feel like you said there should be some accountability. But here's the thing: like my kids, I've always tried to use like parental like lockouts, but not every console is built the same with the parental system. You know, it's just not like, and I feel like that is something that needs to be addressed. Well, I'm not saying. I'm saying, you know, unfortunately, once something's been purchased, sometimes that's it. It is what it is, man.
Yeah, but I'm sure there's in the parental controls. I'm sure there's one way or another where you can stop downloads.
Damn it!
Fucking putting in codes or something. So I mean.
Like, I like the prepaid purchases. You know, the little cash cards, like PSN cards and stuff, that you can put the money on the kid's account, and it doesn't, like, save a credit card. I love those ones. I think those are amazing.
Even if you did that with your kid, you know, if you had a kid that wanted to have his own little credit card thing that you had control over, you go to Walmart, buy a prepaid card, put a little bit of money on it for him, and there you go. You know, that's like his allowance, you know. You know?
I mean, those things make sense to me.
But it comes down to the parent. It's still coming down to your parent. You know, it's if you're leaving access to a big credit card on your kid's freaking
I'm lazy and using a prepaid card. Yeah, but it's safe. Prepaid cards. You know, there is some advantages to having prepaid cards. Like my one friend Irish, he was playing this game, and there was a problem with his billing from Square Enix. Now Hop had the same problem, and didn't you? You went with a prepaid. Did you go with another card or a prepaid, Hop, when you had that problem?
No, my credit card. It wouldn't link up with my credit card for some reason.
But didn't you use another card?
Yeah, my bank card.
Okay, so my point of it is, like, you know what, they're like, when you take like even like a prepaid, prepaids are nice. Like, you can do, like, prepaid, like, you know, like, Final Fantasy 14 cards, or a prepaid debit card, or something. And it's nice because if that card fucks up, it's no loss. It's not like a bank card, where if you know, if that fucks up, you're kind of hosed. You know?
Right. Well, that's kind of what I'm trying to get at. Like, if you leave a major card on your kid's system, and they go hog wild and spend thousands of dollars of your money on stupid shit in the game, whose fault is that? Is that the system's fault? Is that the company's fault? Or is that your fault for leaving a major credit card open on your kid's shit? I mean, come on.
Well, you know, I mean, at the end of the day, all I'm saying is when we're addressing these issues, there's never a easy answer. You know, there's just no simple solution. But, you know, only thing I want to see in gaming is more, you know, we can always make improvements, is my point. It's kind of like ESO. ESO could always make improvements, but, you know, we'll never know if it'll actually happen until it does.
But I mean, you have kids, so if it happened with you and your kids, who would you be mad at? You gonna be mad at your kids for spending all your money? You gonna be mad at the system for having the purchases?
Well, the funny thing is, like you said, you know, I've taken precaution because once you get burnt, it's not until you actually something happens that you actually start taking the precautions. I think most I think the problem of it is most people trust a system to be its security blanket. They trust too much in the system, and then when shit goes haywire, that's when we lose trust in the system.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying? It's not until something gets bad or your kid spends $3,000 that you think to yourself, shit, I should have, what? You start blaming them, but at the end of the day, you're right. You can't really blame them. You should have taken accountability or precaution that could have happened. But had you known, you see what I'm saying?
Yeah, you know, but whose fault really is that? Is that, you know,
well, you know,
being careless and leaving a major bank or leaving a major card on access to somebody's thing.
You know, that's all I'm saying.
Do you go around throwing around your credit card number all day? No, because it's,
Well, yeah, because
you
somebody's
know,
going to steal it and then make charges.
Exactly.
Right.
You know, why would you leave it open on somebody else's system? That's not
But
your
what about
system. Why would you
hackers?
leave an open
I
card?
mean, how many times have you been told not to use a computer and save data? Because if you get a hacker, they're going to be able to do what? Extract your personal information from your system, right or wrong.
Yeah. Well, I mean, they're out there.
So whose fault is that? Is that
Either
your
way.
fault for using the system to begin with?
Oh, it's a hacker's fault for being a jackass.
But that's all see, once again, there's two sides to it. There's a way to, you know what I'm saying, to play the victim and to have the accountability removed.
I mean, that's not my fault. My shit got hacked. That's not the company that I'm trying to buy through's fault that I got hacked. It's the hacker's fault for being a fucking asshole and hacking like an asshole. Fuck you. You know. But I mean, I don't like that shit because I've been stung so many times with shit like that. It sucks.
Like, you know, it's not, these aren't easy answers, you know. These are definitely things that we have to, you know, contemplate on a daily basis, and we have to take into consideration. And I think it is harder on the companies, and I think the companies do have to take, you know, step it up a little bit, because at the end of the day, all the fingers are going to be pointed on them. You know what I'm saying? That's not something that you want to go ahead and, you know, just wash away so easily and be like, you know what? At the end of the day, we're just going to claim we're not we put the disclosure. You know, how many times have you ever, you know, logged into ESO? Have you guys ever downloaded a patch for Elder Scrolls or a game, and all of a sudden the terms and conditions is so goddamn long, you're like, fuck that, and you skip it, and then all of a sudden, when something happens, you're like, whoa, what the fuck? And they're like, you agreed to it. It's right there. It's like that bad episode in South Park where Apple, Kenny agreed to the terms and conditions, and they made him, you know, they tied him into the human centipede. And they're like, oh, you agreed to the terms and conditions. No, I didn't. Yes, you did. It's right here.
Mm-hmm.
You know, how many times we're seeing that, where, you know, it's just like we're playing ignorant to what we're agreeing to.
Right? Read the fine print.
I mean, we can look back into the Gilded Age, right? Loot boxes need to be removed completely. Is it the company's fault that you bought a product that gave you X, right? Right. Like, once again, it's all about what are we buying? Are we, you know, it's always this old saying, buyer beware, right? Buyer beware. You know, there's no beware. You know, we should be trusting companies. Bullshit. When's the last time you should be trusting anything in life? Hell, I don't even trust my kids, let alone a company. My kids are guilty until proven innocent. Yeah, they live in America where the court says they're innocent until proven guilty, but in this house, bullshit, it works the opposite. I'm assuming you're guilty until you prove you're innocent, because people lie. You know?
Mm-hmm.
People are liars. Duck, you still there?
Yeah, I'm making, dude.
What's your idea on, you know, the whole trust issue in the gaming industry? Do you trust the companies you buy products from, Duck?
To a point, otherwise I wouldn't buy it.
Have you ever bought a game that you thought was going to be good and it just turned out to be shit?
Oh yeah.
And what'd you think about the company then?
Who hasn't?
Fallout 76. I mean, I didn't say that.
Fallout 76. Like, fuck you. I bought the game you play. I bought Final Fantasy. Never got to play.
Oh
the game.
yeah. That's a good point.
So what do I think of that company? Fuck that company.
Yep.
I fucking
Right.
hate that company.
So here's a good story, Baka. So we're all on the PS4 right now, and Duck is a PS4 player. He actually bought the game, tried to get to play it, and it said he couldn't access the account. And he contacted Square Enix, and Square Enix then like brushed it off to the side, and like saying no, we don't see any records of that. And it was bad because one of my problems with Square Enix with the PS4 players, not the PC players, But with the PS4 players, is they didn't make it very easy to show verification of purchase and set up account. They made the account, setting up the account for this game way too hard. That's my only complaint with Square Enix and Final Fantasy. Some players have gotten burnt, like Duck here, and unfortunately, you know, the company has no way of confirming unless it's through PSN. And I think they need to make the account settings a lot more user-friendly. Like being able to click a simple button, confirming that the purchase and the codes applied, auto apply the codes. Don't manually apply the codes. I hate having to go to this site, then go to the lodestone and upload the, you know, I hate that. It's like, you know, they could have made this a lot easier. I'm dead. They could have made it a lot more user friendly. I felt like they did drop a lot of balls, man. I honestly felt like that. I did feel like that a lot. Oh, for Final Fantasy 4, yeah, for Final Fantasy 14, you need to manually verify that in their station if you want that. Right, but he did it through the PlayStation. So he purchased on Play Store. And the thing about it is, the PlayStation Store is supposed to keep whatever, but when you actually go to your MOG station, the thing about it is you're supposed to be able to just, you know, set it up through your PlayStation. Unfortunately, though, they made it way complicated, and they really fucked it up, man. I was like, and then he bought a game that he couldn't access. Yeah, PSN doesn't always follow through with that, right? And that's the problem. So Square Enix saying, well, we don't see verification of that. So he went through Square Enix is like, I bought your game. I can't. They're like, well, you have to go to this, and we need your email. He's like, I gave you my email. I didn't get anything, you know, and that was the whole problem. And that's why I keep saying Square Enix made it, out of all the games I've ever played, Square Enix has the most complicated system for setup. It is the most complicated. Like, they made it so complicated when all they had to do was just do a purchase the purchase verification, and you know, apply the code and then open up an email is what they should have done. Not go through this and Lodestone. They should never have done all that, where you had to go through two different websites.
I say, fuck, you don't need my email either. Okay, go away.
Right. Well, I mean, but it's what I'm saying is, it's not like you didn't email them. You know, you did. You know, you were going through all those steps. They just couldn't verify your shit because they were like, we don't see it. We don't see it. We don't see it. And that's what I'm always upset about, because I had two other viewers have the same problem happen. And I was like, oh, God, that just sucks. They just need to make it, they need to get rid of the Square Enix purchase store. And, like, if I buy something, it should just be through the Lodestone. Just make it purchasable like they do with the Lodestone. Don't make me go to Square Enix website to, you know, buy Shadowbringers and then get that code, and then apply that code over to the Lodestone. Don't do that. That's like that. All of that's controlled by one company. Skip the middle part, as you know what I'm saying. If I have a Lodestone, let me buy it through my account. It shouldn't be that hard. You know, don't make me create like 3 different things just to play one game. That's not very user friendly.
No, not at all.
It's not user-friendly at all. Especially since they don't even have an American customer service. The problem is that it's Japanese web design. I know. They need a North American customer service is what they need.
Yes. No, for sure.
They need an American, they need, not even maybe American, European. I don't care if it's even in Europe. It doesn't have to be in America. It can be in Europe. Just have English-speaking customer service somewhere.
Right.
Australia, set it up in Australia. I don't give a shit where they set it up. Just set up a customer service center where people can, speak to half of your other customer base and help them resolve their issues. So, because why? You want them to play the game. Why do you want them to play the game? So you can make more money.
Right? You get more Americans playing, start spreading even more.
Right. This game's badass. I love this game.
Oh, it's fucking amazing. I can't wait to the
expansion?
Next, the
expansion. You're playing it then?
Yeah, I fucking pre-ordered
Oh, really? How long?
Idiot.
Until you actually get hit. Oh, I got through the raid. I'm done.
Nah, I'll be playing it. I'm playing it like a motherfucker till something else comes out.
Dude, you should see like some of the things like I'm working on. Like I'm working on getting my but they upped the Mentor too to 80, but all the other prereqs are still the same for Mentor. So
what?
And the Mentor, they're giving you a week to maintain your Mentor because they're upping the Mentor up to 80.
Oh,
the
that's
mentor
cool. I'm not a
system.
mentor yet, anyways.
Yeah.
I'm like so many dungeons away. That's the only thing I'm missing. I need 1,000
dungeons. How is that?
500.
Oh no!
I'm at like 500 or something.
No! The bears are after me! Get off me, Pooh! You fucker!
Dude, I already said it, man. If Duck could get a new, figure out a way to get on that game, I'll buy the new fucking...
I know, man. I want Duck to be a part of it. The experience. Because I know he would love the game.
Oh, fuck yeah, he would. That game's amazing.
Hate the company. Fuck the company.
I know. I can't blame you. I can't even blame you, Duck. I can't.
I mean, I'm almost at the point where I'm ready to just make an account for you and fucking...
He won't log in. He already said that. Even if we did it.
I know. That's why I haven't done it yet. If I knew he would, I would. But...
Oh, I forgot to put my toil shit on. Oh, no. Oh, I fucked this one up, boys and girls. Oh. Aha. I still fucked it up. Oh well.
Way to go, guy.
I know, right? At least I got a couple figs out of it. Screw you, bear. I got those figs.
My guy to level 70. My white mage, he's like 65, I think, 66.
Let me check out the comments. If it wasn't sub-based, I'd play it. I wouldn't play it if it wasn't sub-based. I'll tell you that. Some of the worst games I've ever played, like, I don't mind free-to-play. It's all about how they do the microtransactions. I'm happy that this game's sub-based. What about you, Hop? Would you want this game to be free-to-play over sub?
It doesn't matter. It doesn't matter. The only thing about microtransactions I don't like is any sort of pay-to-win. If this was a free game...
If this was like Neverwinter, would you be happy?
No, hang on. If it was like Neverwinter, but the pay-to-win wasn't there, and all the microtransactions was just fluff and bullshit that didn't matter, yeah, I would still play it. But if it was like Neverwinter where the transactions could pay to win and you could boost past people, no, I wouldn't play it. Same reason why I don't play Neverwinter.
But this is the thing too. Like, with me paying a sub, I know all my content's going to be updated on a regular basis, right? I know I'm not going to have to make... I know I'm not going to have to make any side transactions like Game Pass, DLC. I know that. I'm paying a one-time fee every 2 years for my expansion. All my other updates are with my sub base. I'm getting my dungeons for free, my updated dungeons for free. I'm getting my new job, my next new job for free, you know, for what I'm paying. You see what I'm saying? It's not for free. I'm paying for this. I'm already paying for all the content that's going to be coming my way. I'm just not having to make these extra purchases. And I'm fine with that.
Yeah, but I mean, if it wasn't and the microtransactions was just
it's like going to a movie. How much does it cost to go to a movie? $20 now?
I don't know.
Like
20,
you,
$30 probably.
yeah, well, $20 to go to a movie. If you want to go to a movie, but like if you just go by yourself and get a drink, even one little drink, it's like what, $20? You're spending $20 easily, right?
I don't know. I don't go to the movies because I don't go to the movies.
Well, I'm just saying, like ideally. So here's the way I look at it. A movie is what, 2 hours long? So I'm spending $20 for 2 hours. Well, guess what? I'm paying $20 for hundreds of hours in a month. Like 5, 6, 7, 10 times the amount for the price of a movie.
Okay, but then again, here we go. If you're going to go to that point, if I'm paying a subscription for a game, right, I should only have my time deducted when I'm logged on to that game.
Yeah, but
I agree with that. That would be fucking awesome.
Doug's like, yeah, fuck yeah.
If I pay $15 to have your game for a month, then that means
well, you know, why would you be why? But you can also cancel your sub. You're not required to keep it, right or wrong.
No, but why? If I miss a day, why am I paying for that day that I wasn't there for? You know, your time should only be deducted on the time that you're actually logged into the game.
That's like paying your insurance. You know, should every month that you go without wrecking, should part of that be refunded to you?
Yeah.
Shut the fuck up. Get the fuck out of here. I'm done.
Why not? Why not? Insurance is a total fucking scam.
I work in insurance.
It's the biggest fucking scam on the planet. What are you talking about, guy? It's the biggest fucking scam. Oh, here, you gotta pay $100 to have insurance on this, but if anything happens to it, you gotta pay a $500 deductible on top of it.
My point of it is, what you're paying for the continued development of a game. The pool of players is what pays salaries for the employees. Right? It's the budget that sets for the game. Right or wrong?
Yeah.
Okay, all right. Same thing with insurance. Insurance is a pool of people coming together. So if you getting in an accident and your coverage is for $10,000 and you paid a premium of what, $1,000 a year, hypothetically, or $1,200, that extra $8,000 is covered by the pool. So if people quit paying it, the insurance company doesn't have the money to pay for the accident that you got in, because you didn't even pay the insurance company that much.
But okay, so if you have to pay, these are all just $100 a year, right, for insurance, and you have it for 10 years.
I want that insurance.
Right. Well, no, you had it. You have it. For
now you're talking
years,
to somebody who's been licensed, so you're in good hands.
$100.
You're in good hands. Keep talking.
Allstate fucking
I want my own policies.
I'm just keeping the numbers.
Wasn't there a study
simple,
on
guy.
spending for subs versus cash shops? People pay more per month on average for cash shops. Yes, they do. Right. But what was your point, Hop?
But if you have insurance, right, you have $100 a year, and you've had this insurance for 10 years and never used it one time. If anything happens, you still have to pay them money before they even touch what's wrong.
Now
Why?
listen.
What happened to that money?
That's health. You're talking about health, right?
What happened to that money?
Are you talking about health?
Type of insurance.
No, there's differences. There is a way difference. Like, for example, did you know, like, when I used to do life, now there's a lot of things in different aspects to life, but let's get into what we call an ROP, right? So there's term insurance, right? You're familiar with term. Right or
Okay.
wrong? Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Well, okay. So there's.
Sorry, I'm in a boss fight. Hang on.
I'm trying to ask you if you're familiar with term insurance versus like a whole life policy, or you know, for
I'm not too
example.
familiar with life insurance. No.
Okay, well, you're talking to a house full of insurance people. So my wife, she did insurance as well. So the funny thing about it is term insurance is a cheaper policy, right? But the term word actually derives from the word terminate, meaning what does terminate mean?
Destroy. Get rid of.
Means it ends. Yeah, it ends.
Yeah, end of something. End
Yeah,
something.
it ends
Destroy
something.
it,
Yeah,
end
it
something.
ends.
It's some kind of
right.
Yeah.
Term. It ends. There's an ending to it. That means
Yeah.
something is going to be ended. You know. So that the term comes from derives from the word terminate, meaning over, ending. So at a certain point. Now that's what term insurance means. Now because term doesn't last a whole life like whole life policies does, you can put more value associated to the term policy at a cheaper premium. Why?
I don't know.
Because their likelihood of their claim is reduced. The risk associated is less than a whole life, which is what? Inevitable. Meaning it's inevitable. Sooner or later they're going to die. Term, you can literally say within 20 years, what's the likelihood that they're going to die within 20 years versus their entire life? It's the associated risk. Do you see what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
So that's why it's cheaper, and they can insure for a higher amount depending on what? The associated value, the associated risk to take, right? And that's why there's also what? There's also things that insurance doesn't cover, right? Like if you're skydiving, does your life insurance cover you in the case of like an act of war? No. Does it act of commercial accidents? No. You see what I'm saying? There's this.
Okay, but I'm talking about like for like car insurance.
Well, car insurance is the same thing. Everything in insurance is derived from the pool and associated risk. That's what I'm trying to tell you.
If you've had car insurance on the same car for 5-10 years and
Right.
never you had to use it for anything, if something happens, you still have to pay a deductible before they touch your car. Why? What happened to the money that was there that you're paying?
The deductible. Okay, now you're aware that deductibles can also be. You can reduce the amount of deductibles depending on the amount of the policy, correct?
Why are you paying anything is what my point is.
Another thing is the shop
If you've paid
working
in
on your
over
car
up
can
a,
waive the deductible.
but
Right.
if you
But that's like health insurance. Health insurance, you have a deductible when you go to a doctor's office.
Yeah, but if
And
you've
the
paid in
doctor
enough to
there
cover,
could say no. Deductible, just take the insurance money.
See what I mean,
It's just
Vodka?
not common
And-
practice.
but-
So I can grind
in
currency free level.
in
Yeah,
the-
but what we're saying, Roz, is when it comes to free to play games, they end up charging more for DLCs and all the associated costs versus a sub fee. There's already been a study on it, Roz. So, they have to make the money up.
Might throw the curve on that,
Right.
so you don't pay for any.
There's nothing in this world is for free, Roz. That comes back down to that old saying. Yeah, there's nothing in this world for free. But what I'm saying is,
but
there's
you're
always a
still-
cost somewhere that's going to cost you
still paying
more.
for the next expansion at this game. Why are
Right.
we paying for the expansion of this next game? We're paying for to have it every month.
Yeah, because once again, you're
we don't
paying
even
for
get
a
it
new
for a full
version.
month.
World of Warcraft, you paid expansions.
You don't even get it for a full month. If you pay this game for 30 days, if you miss one
So
day,
are you
don't get that day
against
back.
the sub base? Is what you're saying?
No, I'm not against it, but I'm thinking it should be more legit. If I'm paying you for 30 days, if I miss a day, I should get that day. That day should roll over. My time
This
should
is-
only be
this
deducted
is the way I
while
look at
I'm
it.
logged on.
I'm getting if I'm paying for a service, it's up to me to render the service to utilize it. It's like me going to the store and buying a dozen bananas and not eating one. Whose fault is that? Is it the store's fault that I decided not to eat the fucking bananas
No.
that I purchased?
But I mean, bananas, you can't really be like, hey, you can't return rotten bananas.
Well, that's what I'm saying. I can't return the amount of time that I decided not to play. You know what I'm saying? That's the same principle.
They can.
Yeah, well, look at a mechanic.
They
You take
very well
your car to a mechanic to have an oil change. They're charging you for an hour's worth of work on a 5-minute job.
Right. Isn't that overinflated? I mean, if you could do it yourself, is it more affordable?
They bid it. That's kind of this. They're bidding. They bid it, and if it costs them more than what they bid, they lose.
I'm just saying, and at the end of the day, the associated cost is calculated.
They say it's going to cost $5,000 to paint your fucking car for a complete, and it costs them $6,000. They only charge you $5,000. I mean, usually they bid over, and you end up paying a little bit less.
But okay, if you've had your insurance for X amount of time, and you've paid over $6,000 in elapsed time, and something happens to your car and it's only going to cost $6,000 to fix it, and you've already paid in, say, $10,000, why do you have to put anything into it before they touch it? You've already exceeded the amount of cost. Why do you still have to
certain
put into
companies
it?
now
What the fuck
are
happened to the money that I've already put
certain
into it?
companies now are now doing
come on.
what, that reward system thing where it's like, if you don't get in an accident, we'll cut back some of your costs back to you in a check. Some companies are starting to do all that shit. Some now
that's
also
the whole point, because if
that's not the point. Do you know the point of it is to try to reach?
If you have shit,
you're not getting what I'm saying, Hop.
I know, but they're basically robbing you. If you have car insurance for 10 years and never use it, what happens to that money?
That money's always a part of the pool. Like, for example, Hop, here's the thing.
Your car, they still charge you.
How do you think insurance agents get paid, Hop?
Yeah, but they still charge you to fix your car, even if that happens.
How do you think insurance agents get paid?
I understand that. I understand that.
Don't get into car accidents.
But that's why they start.
Bullshit. See, I don't mind that I have to pay, and I might not ever use it, or if I do use it, I'm not getting back what I put in.
Right.
What I don't like is it's required. That's bullshit.
Well, yeah.
The fact that I'm getting at is, why do I have to pay on top of what I've already paid? I'm paying you to cover
on a
You're
premium,
like a little piggy bank.
You know, the thing about it is, here's the thing about the associated premium. The premium is the percentage of the value that's, not calculated in the initial value of the policy. Okay, is the best way I can describe it. So basically, there's always an offsetted value contingent to the policy. Do you understand what I'm saying?
Yeah, I get that.
Well, that's why. Well, no, you don't get it because you keep asking about a premium.
No, I'm saying, why do you have to pay on top of what you've already paid?
For the premium, right? You're talking about premium?
The money's already there.
No, it's not calculated. That part isn't calculated. That's the offsetted value of the difference. So those are the associated costs for each individual occurrence. So it's the offsetted value of the policy.
Yeah, it's all a scam. It doesn't matter.
So I answer you, and you're like, "Oh yeah, well fuck that."
It's a scam.
I feel like I'm on repeat, but yeah, the only scam I see is that it's required.
Yeah, I mean, the thing about it is, I worked in insurance. Like, that's what I did. That's what my wife did. That's what we did for livings. We did banking and insurance related products. I did life insurance, annuities. I did P&C and all those things. My wife worked in health. So that's what we did. We worked in the insurance industry. We were both. Well, she was exclusive. I was a broker. So I could sell for multiple companies. She worked for one specific company. So that's how that all worked. So I could sell for multiple providers. Now the thing about it is, and it comes back down to this: insurance is not nobody likes an insurance person to begin with. Nobody does.
Yeah, they're scam artists.
Right.
That's why.
Well, in certain aspects, there is some truth to the scam, but riders can be a scam. Right? Riders are associated. Those are extra perks associated with your policy. Like a lot of times, you know what I would tell my clients, especially if they were younger, if they were taking a whole life policy, or no, not a whole life, a term, sorry, term policy, look at an ROP rider. And you know what an ROP is?
No.
It's a return of base
insurance.
premium. Not associated rider fee, but base premium. So basically, if they live past their policy termed, and they live past the policy, they would get their base premium returned to them in cash.
Nice.
But they would lose the associated cost for the rider. But that was a well worth investment, because why, like you said, why spend $10,000 on something that you're never going to benefit out of, right? Well, that comes with the insurance agents. That comes down to the people knowing what they're buying. You know, that's you have to take like some self, like you said, some self, responsibility for that shit. And I always tell people, insurance agents are not like, you know what, most of my time I ended up having to spend with certain clients was what we call final expense policies. It broke my heart when people would come into my office and I'd have to write final expense policies, because by the time they have to get a final expense policies, do you know what their premiums look like? Like dog shit.
You're talking a lot of jargon.
Okay.
That was a lot of jargon.
A lot of jargon.
Yeah.
Okay, a final expense policy is basically the last ditch effort to get coverage at an age where typically no providers would give you any other policy but final expense, which is a whole life policy. Meaning you can't get term policy anymore, you're too old. You can't get a traditional whole life policy with, a certain association value to it because you're too old. You're at what they call expired time. Yo, Fior, what's up, dude? So, there's an association to that, right? So all of a sudden, I would write these final expense policies for senior citizens with high-end premiums, because their inevitable fate is coming to fruition. Nobody wants to take a loss. No one, let's put it, for example, you own an insurance company, Hop, and somebody 80 years old comes in and wants a life policy. Are you going to insure them?
Probably not, because they should be dead already.
Pop?
No. Like he said, no.
But Hop, that's not right. That's not right, Hop.
Why?
What are you paying for
It's
if you're not
right,
getting anything out of
because
it?
I'm saying, it's a scam. Insurance is a scam.
Okay,
They're
so
fucking
listen,
government official con
the
artists.
point of it
They're
is,
fucking
the point of it is, there's
It's a
money
scam.
that's called a reserve. Okay?
It's a scam.
We're not going to talk about too much of the reserve because I'm not allowed to talk about that reserve. But there's a thing called a reserve, Hop. And it's important to understand that in the insurance industry. Especially if you work in the insurance industry, you have to be aware of the reserve. Even though
See,
you're
the
not
scam
allowed to
artists
talk
can't
about
talk
it.
about the secrets of how they scam you.
No.
See this? They're government official
No,
con artists, and
fuck
they're not allowed to
you.
give away their
He's
secrets.
talking
talking truth.
Yeah. I'm talking
There's not a lot
truth.
to talk about.
Yeah. So there's certain things that you just can't get into. There's just certain
They're
legality
government
and things
official
like
con
that.
artists, that's all they are.
Oh, whatever. Anyway, so here's the thing. So when you get a final expense policy, Hop, like you said, you wouldn't normally insure this person. So because you know they're going to die, and you know that's right around the corner, you have to what? Minimize the risk of loss occurring. Right? That's just what you have to do. And unfortunately, to do that, you have to jack up their premium.
Mm-hmm.
And it's not right, but it's unfortunate. That's the reality.
It's just like a 17-year-old male kid.
getting fucking car insurance. His fucking shit is way higher than a girl's because probable cause. He's most likely gonna wreck over a
Once
girl.
again,
So they
I'm
have
not
higher
getting
insurance.
into the statistics and the underwriters. You know, the underwriters are a whole different beast, Hop. You got to think about that as well. There's different layers to the insurance industry, and that's all associated with underwriting.
Just do girls have to pay higher insurance?
I joined if I
cars
could.
than guys?
Xbox and PC. Ah, got you. Yeah, I'm on PlayStation right now. Yeah, I'm on my PlayStation. We're all bullshitting on PS. You know, the thing about it is, Hop, I literally, there were parts of my job I loved, and I really did. I was good at it. No smart-ass
Do girls
comments.
have to pay more in car insurance than guys?
Depends.
No, a first-time girl.
There's
over a first-time boy.
it depends. You can't just, you know, lump everybody in the same thing and be like, oh yeah, it's just that way.
90% of the time. 90% of the time.
You know, once again, you're talking to somebody who's there's different scenarios that play out. Now think about this. There's a boy who literally has straight A's. Does that affect his insurance?
No.
Yes, it does.
Yeah.
Yes,
Yeah,
it
it
does.
does.
Really?
Yes, it does.
Because
That's
your
dumb.
GPA. Yeah,
Yep.
your GPA affects
Yes.
your insurance.
Yes.
Yeah.
So yes. Also, there's associated areas in which, is it rural area? What type of car are they in? Are they in a manual? Are they automatic? Are they in a truck? Are they in a car? All of these associated things have to be. All these things have to be taken into consideration when writing a policy.
Yeah. But sex is a factor too.
It can be.
up.
It can
It's
be. But can a
90%
boy
of the times it is.
have a cheaper policy than a female?
It can.
Okay, there you have it. Okay, you just said it. Okay, I'm done. I'm
It
done.
can.
You
No,
thank
no,
you.
it
I
can
thank
happen.
you.
It can
Yes,
happen.
right.
It can.
Yes.
Yes, it can happen.
Yes.
But most of the time, if you take two brand new
But once again,
first-time drivers,
once
16,
again,
7, whatever, most of the time, who's gonna pay more? The guy.
once
because
again,
it's I mean, it can happen depending on what kind of vehicle the guy gets compared to the girl. It can
right.
happen that
All
the
of
guy
these
can
things,
pay
there are
less,
factors. There are factors.
But if you put
But you know what,
guy
Hop?
and
You
a
know
girl-
whose job that is to decide that?
a guy and a girl in the exact same vehicle, the same
Everything's
age,
the
first
same.
time driver, everything exactly
Everything's
the
the
same.
same,
90% of the
except
time,
sex.
the guy is gonna pay more.
Okay. But once again, Hop, whose decision is
Am
that?
I wrong?
Is that my
Am I
decision?
wrong?
I'm not saying you're wrong. I'm saying there are other things to take into consideration. It's never always clear cut.
No, but am I wrong?
You're
it's
trying to
pretty
make it like a
clear-cut.
clear cut thing.
It's
and it
pretty
can't be.
clear-cut,
It's
Mr.
not.
Man.
It's not.
It is.
There
It is.
isn't. You know? There
It's
isn't.
a scam.
See, you guys
It's
are
a
are
scam.
turning against me because now you guys know like I worked in that. Oh well, he was an
turning
insurance
against
agent.
you.
Let's just
No,
turn on that
it's a
dude.
scam. It's a scam. They're going to charge the
Agreed.
guy more
Listen.
because he's at a higher risk of costing
the
them money.
insurance man.
The
Hate
girl's
him.
not going to
Hate.
charge this money because she's at a lower risk of wrecking
Okay.
the car.
Okay,
It's a
Hop.
scam. The best way they can make money, they're going to do it. It doesn't matter. If they're going
Okay.
to lose money, they're not going to do it.
Well,
That's
okay,
just-
but look
that's
at the
insurance
health of
for
the. Don't
You
even get that
just told
started.
me that.
You would get my wife lit. Like my wife would come down and flog you just for saying that comment.
You
know
already
why?
told me.
You know
You
why
already
my
told
wife
me
would
yourself.
flog you for saying that though? For saying that exact comment the way you said it.
What?
Because it's a
You
scam.
wouldn't.
Like they would make. If they're not going to make money. They're not interested in doing it. Like just that
You
statement.
just told me that, though.
No, I said I did not say those words. I did not say those
No.
words. I would not
You-
say those words.
You said if an old enough person walked into your office,
Would
didn't want
would
to.
you insure them?
You said you didn't. You said
No,
you didn't want
I
to.
said, I said we have to adjust the premium to take in consideration their risk. You
said you
cannot
would, but you
listen
wouldn't want to.
by law you cannot deny anybody a policy. You always have to be able to provide a policy. Because that's a form of discrimination. Okay, you cannot deny anybody a policy, but The associated
what are you gonna
cost,
do?
you know, is configured with the risk that's associated. The adjusted premium
So-
is considered into the associated risk. Okay,
So
so
what
once
you're gonna
again,
do,
the
you're
way
gonna
you
jack
just
his
said it,
prices
my wife would flog you because one of the things she worked in for years was health insurance. And guess what? The one thing she would tell you just for making the statement that you said.
What?
The health insurance industry is losing millions of dollars. That's the problem, and that's why the government's so involved in this shit right now.
They are?
Yeah.
That's when?
Since forever, because that's why we keep getting these adjusted costs. And now my brother, who's the vice president of his company, has to work what they call I have to get my wife and him, but it's basically like they keep adjusting the price of what they're willing to pay, the insurance companies, because they're taking such a dramatic loss. You know, with some of these things.
know
So
why?
why would you say they wouldn't do it if they're not making money? They're not. Some of these insurance companies don't have a choice. They have
That's
to.
not my fault. You know who's
Well, you
fault that
just
is?
said. You just said, Hop. You just said.
No, the reason life insurance is fucking bankrupt is because of the stupid
It's not
doctors
life.
saying
It's
that
health. Health has
or
gotten
health
issues.
insurance.
It's
yeah, health
different.
insurance is going bankrupt because it's doctors are saying, "Oh, it's going to cost me $50,000 to fire up this machine."
And
look at
well,
you
then
with it."
there's like that's what I'm saying, Hop. Like you
That's
can't
not
just
anybody's
say
fault but
you
the
can't
why is it
say
gonna
that
cost me
insurance
50
is
grand for you to turn
you
on a
can't
machine?
say what I'm saying is you can't say insurance is all a ripoff because there's underlining costs, there's underlining things that's going on in the insurance industry. That's the thing. There's a lot of red tape, man. There is a lot of shit goes down. And that's the one thing that me and my wife argue about daily. You know, the thing that me and my wife used to argue about the most was our jobs. Because we both work in the insurance industry, and we have to do what? We have to listen to the letter of the law. We have to do what the law states that is what we're permitted to do and what we're not permitted to do. And then we have to, you know, go off of whatever companies we're working for, what they're making the adjustments for the policies. It's not an easy job. I mean, people like to say like, "Oh my God."
Hey, guess what?
Wow.
I do what I want.
It's just like, yeah, I understand a lot of people hate insurance companies. I get that. I do.
A lot of what I want does have to do
And
with
I also
what
understand that other insurance agents don't give a shit about their clients. Because I've been on the receiving end when I had to take care of people who bought the wrong policies or didn't get the right writers and get the right, you know, what was needed at that time when they should have been getting it. Instead, they got pushed this from somebody who told them to get that, and the next thing you know, they got fucked in the end.
Yeah. So with car insurance, if you have car insurance and then you don't have car insurance for an elapsed amount of time, and then you go back to having car insurance, why do your rates go up?
That's considered. You know, do you know you get reported to BMB in each state for when your policy gets dropped?
Yeah, I know, and your rates go up. Why do your rates go up for not having
because
car
you're
insurance for X amount of
considered
time?
you were considered at risk for liability, and any
what?
associated accidents that would have occurred could have been you know, considered liable on your previous policy. Do you guys ever consider that? This is what I think. Anybody who doesn't fucking carry an auto coverage, even
How
a
do they know I
fucking
was driving?
bond, no. You know what? That pisses me off when I hear somebody
know I
drop
was
their
driving?
fucking. You know, don't even piss me off right now because it pisses me goddamn off if somebody has a valid driver's license and say, "Oh, I'm not driving. I don't need my fucking you know, insurance," but they still have a fucking car in the driveway. Fuck you. Fuck you. You should be in jail. Fuck you. Lose your license or go to jail. That's what I think.
I have a driver's license. and I don't drive.
Don't even get me started on that shit, Hop. You know, don't even fucking. You're about to fucking get the Reaper ripped on you. Because if I ever hear you ever say you drop a policy, I'll flog your fucking ass.
Dude,
you know how many nightmares I fucking shit.
My rates,
and then people cry. Oh my fucking! I lost my license because I didn't I dropped my policy. Oh, my rates went up because I'm like, yo, because you know what? People come into my office cried shit like that, and I'm like, did you do this? Well, why does that matter? Shut the fuck up, you dumb fucker! I don't want to hear you, bitch! I don't want to hear you cry, you dumb fucker! You know who did this? I didn't do this. The insurance company didn't do this. You did this to your goddamn self. Shut the fuck up and let me help your ass or get the fuck out of my office.
I have no idea what you're talking about. You seem very emotional about it.
I hate dumb fuckers. You just said, "Oh, why does it shut the people like you want to?" I just want to flog the fucking back because they're always bitching about something like their fucking policy going up when they fucking didn't have coverage for a year, and the BMV just fucking gave them a fucking citation on their fucking shit. Did you ever think about that, Hop? Did you think about that?
Think about what?
The state fucking citating his shit. Oh, why did my insurance go up when I didn't have insurance?
Why does your
did you ever
insurance
think
go
of the
up?
The BMV puts a fucking shit on him.
Yeah, well, did you ever think of the fact that the person didn't have a vehicle and lives in a place where he
That's
doesn't
not
need a
you.
vehicle?
You
but doesn't-
always, if you have a valid driver's license, the majority of the states that you live in, if you have a valid driver's license, meaning you went to the BMV, you signed a piece of paper that stated you were going to carry auto insurance, no matter if you were driving or not, and you dropped it, and you agreed to those fucking terms.
When did it become a requirement? It's like it's a
Most
requirement.
of the time when you go to the
Go to the
BMV,
bar, you need to have a valid ID.
if you go to the BMV, and renew
my own car, that I
if you go to the BMV, it depends on each state. But if you go to the BMV, you sign a piece of paper for your license, there is an agreement in which it specifies your agreement terms and conditions. And majority of the time for each state, majority of the time for each goddamn state, guess what's on that agreement of terms and conditions? That you cover fucking insurance!
I'm pretty sure that's not.
So you know
on
what
my
that
state.
means? You guys are scam artists because if I get
Why am I scamming you? I'm not scamming you, dumb fuck.
Wait, no.
I'm not scamming you, you dumb fuck.
Listen, no. If I get rid of my car because I no longer need it because I'm in a location, I don't need a car. I still have to cover.
You don't need to cover a car.
Insurance.
You need to cover a
I
bond.
have something.
You need a
I still
bond.
have to cover something.
You need
I
a
still have to
bond.
pay for something.
You need a
I still have to
bond.
pay for something.
You need a
Yeah, but I
bond.
still have to. I know. I still got to pay
Why
for
do you need a
something. I'm
bond?
not gonna
Why do
drive.
you need it?
I'm not gonna
Why do
drive.
you need a bond?
I'm not gonna drive.
Why
so
do you need
am
a
I gonna pay
bond?
For something I'm not gonna use.
Why do you need the bond?
Because you guys are scam artists.
No, why do you need it? I just told you. You're not
No.
listening to me.
Whatever.
Why
You're
did you
right,
need
I
the bond
wasn't
if you don't have
listening
a car?
I don't know.
It's liability for somebody else's property, not yours.
But basically, you agreed, right, to the state, telling them even if you weren't going to drive, that you were going to cover an insurance one way or the other. I just told you that.
But I wasn't listening. Tell me it again.
I told Hop that. So how is the insurance company ripping you off to something you agreed to have a valid driver's license?
Because it's a requirement.
Right, it is. I'm not saying that's between the
I
state.
mean, they say that driving is a privilege, not a right.
Right, but
It's a
that's all
requirement.
about the state.
You want to go get a job
but
and
you
you don't
can't,
have a
right.
car? Good luck.
You can't go off on the insurance agency to have to make that adjustment because your dumbass fucking dropped the fucking shit and did what? Disobeyed the fucking
Yes.
terms and conditions in which you agreed to.
I'm siding with Hop on
Your
this one.
liability now has increased.
See, I don't think that I should have to pay for that.
It doesn't matter. It's the way it is.
Yeah,
I know.
because it's a fucking
That's-
scam. Why do I
that's
gotta
what
pay
Oh
for
my
something I'm
God.
not using?
You don't have to. Hop, did you know that you don't need to
Just because
carry?
it's a requirement doesn't mean it's not a fucking scam, mister.
Right.
It's definitely a state.
Here's the people I tell people: if you sell your car, are you going to keep the same policy into effect?
If you get another car, yeah.
No, it's not what I asked. If you sell your car, are you going to keep the same policy in effect?
If I get another car, I'm gonna switch it over
No,
to
it's
that.
not. Yeah, you would switch it if you buy another car. Now, let's say you didn't buy another car. What would you do then?
I'm gonna get rid of it because I don't fucking need it anymore.
No,
I'm gonna
that's
get rid of
not.
it.
See,
But I
that's the
can't
biggest
because
mistake.
I get penalized for it.
No, that's
yeah, I get
see,
penalized for it. 'cause I
Top,
got rid
you're
of
not
it.
listening
it's
to
the
me.
biggest thing.
You're not listening
oh,
to
you
me.
can't do that.
You're not.
No,
You can't
not
stop
that.
paying us money. You
Hop.
get penalized for that.
Do you know what you do when you get rid of a car and you don't buy another one?
What do? You switch
You-
your insurance.
No, you call the insurance, say, I sold a car, I have no operating vehicle, I just need liability, I need a liability bond be placed. Basically, you're paying
You have to pay
the
for that?
lowest end of just to maintain your liability or anything. It's basically saying, if I drive my friend's car, I'm covered. If I drive my mom's car, I'm covered. I'm still abiding by the law, the terms and agreements set forward. I still have my valid insurance. Why would you not do that?
Well, why would I have to do that if I have no intention to drive? What if I can't even drive? What if your license gets suspended?
Why
or
would
you're
you have a
fucking-
license then? Why don't you just turn in your license?
Because
you-
you have
why
to have
don't
an
you do that?
ID. Because the fucking state
You
made
can
it
get
so
an
that the
ID.
license...
You can get an ID without a license.
Yes, you can, but who does?
But why would you have a license if you didn't want insurance?
Because I need a job.
You can have an ID without license. You can get a job with an ID. You don't need a license.
You can't get a job without a car.
There's public transportations in some places.
It is. Oh, what? What? Tell that to your employer. All right.
Not
What, you don't have a
everywhere.
car?
There's no bus stops out by my house.
Well,
All
I'm
about the
saying,
fucking
what I'm
BFE.
saying, it doesn't matter. It's people like you that I have to like always try to help and argue with them, and then argue with them, and argue with them, and then it's like beating my head against the wall when I even show them all the documentations that confirm every goddamn thing that they just had to bitch about. I don't have a problem with people bitching about insurance people. I really don't. I mean, why? Because, you know, some of this shit is just bullshit. I agree with that. I totally agree with that. But one thing I hate is like people like saying, oh, well, it's because of this, because of that. I'm like, no. No, 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 and no. That's not why. That is not why.
I'm not so much blaming them, I'm blaming the fucking government because they're government official fucking con artists.
But
man.
you didn't
do
have
what
to
the
agree.
They do what the government
Well,
tells them
yeah,
to do, and
you
they're
do.
con artists for
Why?
the fucking
You,
government.
If you want to conform in what's normal in society, you have to agree to have a license and a car and a job and so on and so forth.
Well,
Technically,
right. It all
tech-
goes hand in hand. I agree with that.
Technically, you don't need to carry a driver's license or a license on you. I
Right.
mean, you don't have to.
Right. The thing about it is,
And you
all
don't
I'm
need an
saying is
ID.
this.
But
What? Right. All I'm saying is, if you don't want to pay insurance, you don't need a license. Tell me what's so hard about that. I can't believe went from gaming to insurance. God damn it! I gotta get going. No, you shouldn't. Okay, added you. Yo, I gotta get going, man. Conquer Blades is fun. I never played it. All right, I'm gonna end this stream. It's been interesting. I'm still sticking around, guys, until I get my call. But yeah, you know, I mean, the one thing about it is, and I don't mean to talk shop because, like I said, I spent a number of years doing this, and I really did. And you know, I've had the worst of worst and the best of best experiences, you know, in the industry. And you know, me and my wife argue about these same principle, well, not these same principles, Hop, I can honestly say that. But you know, when it comes to legality and laws changing, especially laws changing, like, you don't want to hear my wife talk about work. Like, she doesn't work in this, neither of us work in this industry anymore. It's very stressful. And
Nah.
yeah, no, it is.
Not insurance.
Yeah, no, most people would be like, oh, it shouldn't be that bad. Yeah, no, there's a lot
of red tape and fuck bullshit. that
well,
you gotta
there's a
make
lot
sure
of
you
just
go through.
misleading information and things like that.
Yeah.
There's a lot to it.
it's
I
not that
just
big a
view
deal.
insurance
Take it
in the
very
same way
seriously.
as my work, which is repairing computers and as a help desk. You hire us because of the risk. Right. It's the same thing. It's always associated risk. But my wife, you know, she was very good at what she did. I was good at what I did. And, you know, we enjoyed it. You know, a lot of people always consider insurance agents like, you know, people who own their own, you know, whatever. But the insurance industry has got so many different fields and things like that. There's a lot to it. There's a lot involved with, and sure, I know people are like, oh, it's always about the money and it's always about this. I'm like, yeah, and then, you know, at the same time, no, because insurance agents don't usually it's a commission job. It's always a commission job. So it's the way it works. But
Of course it is.
Yeah, it's the way it works. Some days the things will
That's
look
how
good.
scams
Other
work.
times will be
That's how
like, yeah,
scams work.
yeah.
They
Well,
gotta
it's like a
force you into
painter. If you're a
fucking
painter, are
intake.
you working on commission?
Yeah, you get
Yeah,
paid
you
for
are.
the job,
You're
not the
getting
hour.
paid. You're getting paid for your contracted work, right? Same thing with insurance agents. Insurance agents are paid a percentage
I'm paying you for
of
the job. I don't give a fuck how long it takes
yeah,
you to do
like
it.
if I write your policy, depending on how much your policy value is, that's the percentage of my pay. Is based on
But I
your
mean,
on
with
your
bids and
policy.
stuff, yeah.
You know what I'm saying? I'm not getting paid a flat fee. I'm getting for everything. Like if you walk into my office and said, you know, I want $1 million policy. Guess what I'm thinking?
What? No.
Jeff
I
fucking
don't
Ching.
know. Oh, I don't know.
Yes,
sorry,
Mr.
I'm really
Hop.
lost, but I don't know.
What can I do for you today? You know,
You're about to get on your knees and start sucking me off. That's what
you know what I'm
thinking.
saying? No, whatever. No, I don't think
Hand
so.
stash?
But you know what I'm saying? Like,
Nothing.
you know, but if you come in and say, you know, I need a $10,000 policy for whatever, I'm like, okay, you know, let's what can I do for you? What can I help? I mean, it's not like a huge payday, and depending on the type of policy, there can be residuals, but that's, you know, once again, neither here nor there. And then of course, then we have reserves that have to be taken into consideration. There's, like I said, there's a lot to the insurance industry. There's a lot. And like people always want to do, like, I love the people who do the pyramid scam insurance, and then, you know, those are what I call, like, you know, people who just have like drive-by, you know, licenses, like, you know, people who pass the test, who are just pushing policies. And then there's people like me that have to, like, you know, help these poor bastards who ended up getting that shit. So, but yeah, it was crazy. Crazy. All right, guys. Once again, thank you for stopping in, Baca. Thank you for stopping in, Rosfior. Thank you, Jackson, everybody. Once again, I'm Mr. Craven. This is Hop. This is Duck. Interesting conversations tonight. And always, have a nice day.
Later, guys.
Fuck your day.